GM argued that the paladin player broke their oath, and the paladin player had an entire law document explaining why they in fact did not break their oath, and they are still correct. And then they also hired a lawyer to argue their case, at which point the GM gave up and walked out with all the books and also the snacks and the table. So yeah, session's canceled.
Not the table.
Took the whole ass
How did
table.
they take the table?
And it was mahogany too. Nice table.
Mahogany.
Nice table.
We can't, Eddie. My parents took the stairs.
My parents took the stairs. They did what? Fucking great scene. My parents took the stairs. It's just an outline of the
Classic.
stairs.
Yo, can you imagine how mad you need to stay?
For how long that would take.
Yeah, like not only how mad do you need to be, but how long you need to be mad.
Yeah. To take
Just-
the whole ass
magical.
stairs.
Ed's dad breaking each step one at a time, fucking hammer. He's like, "This'll teach you." And he's like, "But Dad, I don't even know what I did."
Also, it's basement stairs, so like good chance they were concrete stairs.
Oh fuck!
Which is like you gotta be even madder. Oh goddamn. Ed, eat your mattress. Okay.
Oh,
Literally.
like,
Anyway. That was a weird tangent we just went down. Hello, we're back. I am here, and Matt is here,
yeah.
and Isaiah is here. And
We're
everybody
here.
buckle up, because Isaiah's gonna be angry for 2 hours.
I really am.
I know you are.
Well,
I know. Okay, we'll talk about it. Much like Ranger, I think we should sort of skip through the early stuff, because there's a lot of like points of contention with Paladin. And I think it'd be good if we just get to the points of contention, because that's really the juicy, buttery, meaty, delicious beef stew. You know what I mean?
Paladin butter.
Mm.
I'm sorry,
Beef.
what?
What?
What? Okay. All right.
I'm just saying I would lick butter off my Paladin Picks abs.
That's fair.
Alrighty.
Understandable. Have a day. Doesn't need to be a nice one. Doesn't need to be a good one, but have a day.
Understandable have.
Yeah, understandable. Before we give a paladin a rating and fucking ragamuffin all over Wizards of the Coast as we do around here, take a moment. Hit follow or subscribe on whatever platform you're currently listening on. And if you have already done that, share us with a friend. Or family. Girlfriend. Your cat. I don't really care. I do want to question how your cat has social media, but we'll get to that later. I see I'm being left in the dark. All right, cool. No response. No response from my allies here. I'm being left alone. I'm a solo goalie, apparently. Just got
You got
silence.
this, I believe.
Jesus Christ. Y'all
Block
fucking
the
left
hate,
me
man.
hanging dry. My balls just shrimp. All right, rating. Right? Yeah, that's where we start. I know this is breaking my rule. And I will admit that this is breaking my rule. But
Yep.
I will explain.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Paladin like a 4.8.
What
I
the
see
fuck?
how it is.
No,
I see how it is.
No.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
No.
Here's the thing.
No.
Listen, hold on. Pause. We're gonna round it. We're gonna round down as D&D is wont to do. So it's a 4. But in my heart, it's like a 4.7 or a 4.8 because there's only a couple of things with Paladin that I don't like, but those couple of things really stick in my fucking craw. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thou have me fucketh up, sir.
Again, I'm rounding down. It's a 4. I'm gonna round down. It's a 4. I'm calling it a 4. I'm just saying in my heart. You know what I mean?
I fucking
My heart of hearts. It's a 4 for the records. When the lawyers pull out all the paperwork, it's gonna say 4. But my soul doesn't say 4. That's all I'm saying. Matt, where do you put Paladin?
Your Honor, I will plead the 5th. Yeah, like I mentioned a while ago that my 3 favorite classes in D&D have been Wizard, Rogue, and Paladin.
I remember this, yes.
Yeah, I just think the Paladin is such a good, well-rounded class overall. It's a good class to teach players spells. If you want to get into spell casting, but you're not a little sure, you're like, I don't know, give them a Paladin. It's very easy. Half the time they'll just smite anyway, so it doesn't matter. And yeah, the amount of role play opportunity with a paladin of being like, yeah, I'm the stereotypical like knight in shiny armor, fuck off Eldritch Knight, no one likes you anymore. You know, the actual
Eldritch
like,
Knight is also not a knight in any sense.
God, I'm so disappointed.
The fact that can we just say, why is Eldritch Knight not called Magic Warrior or Spellblade, or like there's so many other things. Eldritch Knight has the same energy as Chill Touch. Eldritch Knight is neither Eldritch nor a knight. It's the same problem. Chill Touch is neither a touch spell nor does it do cold damage. It's the same issue.
I think they're actually fixing that in 5.5.
Yeah, they're changing it to a touch spell, but it still doesn't do cold damage.
That's not.
Yeah, it does. Well, it does necrotic damage because it's the chilly touch of the dead, which is
Why
like
not call it,
fine,
like,
but
bone hands or something. Now.
But I like to better in the idea of just like an ethereal ghost, just kind of like woo.
Yeah, ghost hand, ghost touch.
Well, in
Okay,
Baldur's Gate, they renamed it to Bone Chill.
Bro, this is better.
It's better. It's not perfect, but it's better.
Oh my god. But yeah, it's 5 for me.
All right, Matt says 5 out of 5. Would fuck again. Isaiah?
Mhm.
All right, so if I give it a 2, I'm gonna
Jesus
get roasted.
Christ.
So I'm gonna give it a 3
Okay.
because I do recognize its potential. I just don't like it.
Well, I also think a lot of because I do know what a lot of your beefs are with Paladin, and I feel like a lot of your beefs with Paladin are not really even with the mechanical design so much as it's like the like fiction and the story of the Paladin that you have a lot of beef with.
No, it's the mechanical design. We'll get into. I mean, it's both.
I know it's both, but I feel like
I've actually sort of come to terms with one of them.
Okay.
Because I'll sort of make it known. When I was like first playing D&D, again, I think I've talked about this. My DM at the time could and would pretty much weaponize everything against you. Like, oh, you helped that orphan? That orphan's a demon. That orphan eats babies. Congratulations. Like,
okay.
So the conceit of a paladin and my DM just being like, you didn't do this thing I wanted?
Both broken.
Give me your nuts. Like,
yeah.
Bailiff, take his nuts. Like, that was my thing. I've since come around on it because I have, shocker, played a paladin before for 3 or 4 sessions. It's one of those I was taking over for somebody else. Yeah, 3 because I recognize that it is not as janktastic as I bitch about it being a lot of the time, but I just don't like the way it feels.
Okay. All right, quintessential Paladin. I want to hear Matt. I want to hear you go first.
All right. Surprising, this one. Oh, I guess they are comic books.
If
I had
swear to God, please don't do this to me.
Do it.
Batman.
I know exactly what's going on.
Okay.
Okay, it's not. Well, okay. There's two. There's 2 that would annoy me. I feel like
I was joking. I wasn't not Batman.
Okay,
no.
not Batman. Okay.
So my original one was going to actually be Inigo Montoya, but then I started thinking about it a little more, and like with the Force being kind of magic, if you stop and think about it, Darth Vader is kind of the ultimate Oathbreaker.
True.
Didn't we already have a discussion that Jedi are sorcerers? I feel like we did this already.
Yeah, it's fine. They can be whatever they want.
All right, I'm more willing to call them paladins than sorcerers, probably. So, hey.
Because like he's got the armor. He's even during the Clone Wars, he wore armor. He had the different magics.
Well, yes, Matt. People generally wear armor in war. That is how that works.
But some Jedi didn't. Fucking Yoda didn't.
Yeah, well, because he's just that much of a Chad.
Yeah, true. But yeah, think about it. He was the your regular fucking I don't know. Not what's the regular paladin called? The first one, not redemption.
Devotion.
Maybe devotion.
The default subclass.
Yeah, default. Yeah, sorry.
Devotion.
Yeah, he went from being, fucking devotion, I'm a Jedi, to, oh no, sandbenders. Wow. Sand people killed my mom.
Sand devastators.
So now I'm yeah, that was a weird slip up.
Sandbenders.
Fucking sand people killed my mom, so now I'm on a fucking tirade of revenge. Then I have to fix shit. because I wanted to do a Vengeance Paladin for a little bit. And then it's like, oh no, do I go with the light side or dark side? Oh, you know what? I'm just going to screw over the whole Jedi. I'm an Oathbreaker now. I got this cool armor. Fucking did my costume itches my skin like crazy. I'm in Eternal Torment. But I'm a badass. 30 years later, oh, I have a kid. You know what? Actually, this evil thing did not work out the way I wanted to. I'm going to go back and redeem myself and then die.
So you're telling me Darth Vader went through 4 different subclasses?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
He went devotion, vengeance, Oathbreaker, redemption.
Probably. There might be another one in between fucking vengeance and Oathbreaker at some point.
He's really pissing off his fucking dungeon master.
Yeah, seriously. Can I choose my subclass again? No, stop. God damn it.
It's like, listen, it's just I'm still a paladin. It's just like,
yeah, I'm still a paladin. Fine.
Yeah, I'm just bored now. I want to kill my my NPC wife.
I'm not 100% to that one in that, especially because, well, I guess Jedi kind of have oaths and shit. Yeah.
See, that's the thing. The Jedi,
do.
like they're it's kind of a weird like religion. Not
it's a religion thing.
Like,
it is a religion
yeah.
thing. What I'll say with Jedi as a paladin concept, I think they, in the early days of Star Wars, they lacked a lot of the Force didn't do the stuff that I feel like would have made it really hit home. But as the years have gone on and the expanding universe and then the Disney universe and everything, they've added a bunch of shit in there. Jedi basically have lay on hands and auras at this point. So yeah, we're much more in that realm. They always had Divine Sense. They had a much better version though, because Divine Sense is fucking garbage and I'm going to complain about it. Don't y'all worry.
Prize.
Yeah, their Divine Sense was like on some points interplanetary level.
Yeah, very strong Divine Sense.
Just be like, there's a bitch on that planet. What planet? That one. What the fuck are you talking about?
That little light way over there.
Where?
Yeah. I see a bitch on that planet.
All right, Matt, who are your other ones?
No, I'll list all of the other ones I got later because I have the list and I figured it'd be cool.
I want to know now.
No, because I might say one of yours. So.
Oh, God damn it. All right, fine.
I guarantee you will not pick any of mine.
I was going to say, doubt it. Isaiah, fine. You go. Matt's being a bitch.
Okay. So I thought about it. I did a big think in the last 2 minutes.
Thunk.
And I realized that my quintessential paladin of choice is not a real paladin, but she looks like one. My quintessential paladin is Titania or Titania from the Fire Emblem Telia series. My queen, glorious red hair.
I mean, that looks paladin-y.
Isn't a paladin?
No. Okay, so much like druids, Fire Emblem paladins are the evolved class for the Cavalier Chevalier class.
Okay, yeah.
So they're just horse riders on roids. They got like heavy armor. They ride a horse. They're really good against most infantry units. They have like the highest speed in the game, other than the Pegasus Knights and Falco Knights. But they got no magic powers. Nor do they withhold like a tenant. They're just really Chadley knights.
Okay, so you're going more towards the sort of fictional vibe of the paladin.
Sword and board kind of.
Yeah, this character is my first introduction to the word paladin. So just sort of much like Canas in Fire Emblem
I see.
Blazing Sword. It's just like when I think paladin, I think my girl Titania. And then there's Marcus from Blazing Sword as well. Chadley Marcus. Okay.
Have anyone else? Because there's someone
I do.
There's someone else I was really
Isaiah
expecting
pick.
you to bring up that you didn't. So keep going.
No. Don't worry. My Isaiah's. What are you talking about, Willis? Paladin of choice is Gazgul Mak Uruk Thraka from Warhammer 40,000.
Sir, get the flying fly.
No.
I know where you're going with this. I know exactly where you're going with this, and I hate
Gazgul Mak Uruk Thraka, if you don't know, is the champion of the Wa, the chosen, the prophet of Gork and Mork, if you will.
Yep.
He is a Giga Orc, basically Krork, if you don't know. Those were like the super Chadley orcs from when the Necrons were fighting the old ones. Because he's chosen by Gork and Mork, his ability to like rally troops, create literal fucking miracles on some level and channel the pure Wa energy around him into auras definitely makes him a paladin. There's literally a thing where he sees a warp portal and he goes, I can't shoot it. I can't hit it with my power claw. Oh wait, I'll use Mied. And then he headbutts the fucking portal and it disappears. Because he thunk it so hard.
He divine smited the portal.
He literally divine smited the portal. Yeah, exactly.
I hate
He is a paladin, and I cannot be my mind will not be changed on this.
Okay.
I'm not actually going to change your mind on this. That doesn't mean I hate it any less.
Oh, this
But do
is
you
the
agree?
guy. Yeah, they made
He's
a Magic the
absolutely a
Gathering card
paladin.
of him.
I really want to
Yes.
here's the thing. I want to disagree. I don't think I have any strong counter arguments.
So like most of my Isaiah's wacky picks, you want to disagree, but you cannot.
Actually,
Well,
hold on.
no,
Your
no,
Honor,
no.
Your Honor, he's using guns. Paladins don't use guns. I rest my case.
Paladins only don't use guns because guns aren't an option.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you paladins. I bet you a modern day paladin would absolutely use a fucking spaz 12.
I don't know. Doesn't seem real holy to me.
Also,
I watched Hellsing. That's not true.
Also, he's an orc, so like
True.
he has a gun, but like he punched things more often than not.
Yeah, he used big power claw and he made.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's a big fan of the melee crumpin. No, I've had arguments for your other ones, but this one I like in the dumbest roundabout way. You're onto something. And
He's not alive, but
you
he's
know,
got a
I was
point.
gonna make the argument. I'm like, well, he doesn't have the religious thing, but you're right. He's literally the fucking prophet of Gork.
prophet of Gork and
So
Mork.
Yep.
I'm the prophet of the Wa.
Is he a devotion paladin?
Yes.
Probably,
Yes,
right?
he is.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. You
he
could make
heal?
an argument for ancients. He can because he was decapitated. Count them twice.
Can he
And
lay on hands, people?
So here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
That little. Oh, you don't have him.
His little squig buddy.
His little grot buddy is named Makari,
I do know this character, the
yeah,
flag bearer.
Makari.
Yep. Mhm.
and his flag bearer.
Yep.
And because we don't know why, it could be that Makari is the chosen of Gork and Mork
Yes,
as well.
yes, I've heard
But
of
more
this.
realistically, Gazgul thinks Makari can't die,
So he can.
and he keeps killing him by accident,
Yep.
like sitting on him or blowing him up or stepping on him or hitting him with a truck. And Makari just keeps fucking showing up places, and he knows. He's aware that he keeps dying. He hates it so much. But yeah,
I'm just looking at before and after pictures of this guy of like full mechanical body, then like somewhat paladin armor, fucking big giant gun. Then like, yeah, I'm kind of half robot, half fucking orc. And then where are we at today? It's like, holy shit, this
Well, I
fucking
believe
guy.
his body. I think isn't it a suit he wears? Doesn't he still have?
yeah,
is it a suit?
it's a power suit.
Yeah, I think he
Oh,
still has
it's
his
powers.
body.
Yeah, so
okay.
basically, like I said, Gazgul's had his head blown off, like a massive chunk of his skull removed with a bolt shell, and that's when he realized he was the prophet of Gork and Mork, and then he was decapitated by Ragnar Blackmane, and the Mad Doc Rotsnick found his head, found the body of an even bigger orc, and then stapled it to the neck, and then he woke back up.
He's basically the closest thing the orcs have to a Primarch.
Yes, he is. He's huge.
Yeah.
He's fucking humongous. It's like ridiculous how tall he is.
It's yeah. Anyway. All right. Oh, you got any other ones?
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't think I do. I mean, I thought about this one. This one's kind of, and I quickly like looked up a list and was like, I guess this is one of those things where I don't know if I had thought about it or I had seen it, which made me think about it. But like Captain America being a devotion paladin makes a lot of
That
sense.
was the one I was expecting
Yeah.
Matt to say that I didn't want to hear.
a lot
Which one did you
of
expect me
people
to
have
say?
said that one.
Solaire.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Solaire, Dark Souls, Matt.
I never
Solaire,
played Dark
praise the
Souls.
sun.
Oh,
Okay,
The
so for the
guy?
record, Solaire's whole thing is he's just... I hate that this is his current lore, but he's just a fucking wacko crazy dude who really who's like obsessed with the idea of the sun, because the sun is like deity in Dark Souls and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And you think throughout the game, because he's doing all these crazy abilities, that he's got like some fucking whacked out like gear, but no, he doesn't. His gear is actually really shitty, and his sword sucks. But he's such a good warrior, and he believes so much in his cause that it like actually granted him miracles akin to Gwyn, the final boss, so he can throw lightning and heal people and buff people because he thinks he can. Like,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
there's no way you've never seen this character, Matt.
No, I've seen the character. I just didn't know the name. When you were like, yeah, praise the sun. I'm like, oh, okay, that guy.
Yes, praise the sun guy.
Yeah. Again, my most knowledge of Dark Souls stuff.
I know, but if there's any
Elden
character
Ring.
you're gonna know from Dark Souls, it's gonna be fucking Solaire.
Yeah, I just didn't know his name.
He is the Dark Souls character. He might as well be named Mr. Souls. Like, anyway, yeah, I expect you to say Solaire because he is just a paladin in every sense of the word.
Correct.
Basically, zero argument on that one.
Yeah, the only thing he can't conventionally do is smite, but he can fucking he literally has like auras and shit that he can pop up. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the really boring, really obvious, really like, yeah, no shit, you would say that Josh answer of World of Warcraft. Again, Uther Lightbringer. I'm kind of cheating again. He's just Paladin man. I don't know how else to put it. He's Paladin man. I did see some people mention Trevor from Castlevania. I like that one. He lacks some of the magical juice, but I see what you're getting at. I will say one that I thought was kind of interesting that I would have to think about a little bit more. Radagon in Elden Ring. As a paladin, I'm like, huh.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mayhaps. I don't hate it.
Yeah, actually, I don't want to say anything. It's spoilers, but yeah.
Like, I don't know. He's. Yeah, I don't know. There's an argument to be made.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just gonna go with the boring hobby. Like, World of Warcraft has too much power over me.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, we talked a little bit before. I'm surprised you didn't say Arthas because he's the most well known, but you said this guy is like his teacher.
He's literally his teacher who taught him how to be a paladin. He's a better paladin than Arthas. He's also more true and more good than Arthas. I mean, you know,
yeah.
Arthas kind of went down the no-no zone. He's also just more paladin-y than Arthas is. Like Arthas was a paladin, but Uther is like the paladin. Like, he's so over the top. Like, my man literally is such a paladin. He has a force ghost that's holy light. Like, he came back as a ghost of holy light.
I was gonna say, is that the where he's like blue skin, like has angel wings? I'm seeing some art of that.
Wait, is he okay? Because I am a bit of a nincompoop when it comes to Warhammer. Warhammer? Fucking, that's not true. World of Warcraft. Is he the dude who gets murked in the World of Warcraft movie?
He is not in the Warcraft movie, so no.
Who's the dude who's played by the dude from Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Slayer / King Mehmet from
who's the main character?
Dracula.
King. Oh crap.
He's the dad of the dude with the scar face and the ponytail, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is the dad. Yes, Varian Rin's dad. Fucking A. Varian Rin. Fucking. Wow, why can't I remember his name? Oh man, you're putting me on the spot. I know exactly what you're talking about. No, Uther's not in the movie at all. That would have been sick if he was. King Lane. Jesus Christ.
Lane. Okay.
Wait, no, that wasn't him either, though. No, that wasn't that. Because that was Was that him? Hold on. Now I'm like speed Googling here. Because now I'm trying to. No, yeah, it was King Lane. Okay, yes, yeah, King Lane is the guy who dies. And yes, but yeah, his son is Varian.
Gotcha. Sorry, I know that was like a wild left field. I just was like, wait, is it that guy? I think it's that guy.
No, Uther, no. Although Arthas is in the movie, if I remember correctly, didn't he show up as a kid? I think he did, right? Been a minute. It's been a minute since I've seen the movie, so I don't remember if he showed up or not. Wait. Was it Lane who died, or was it Anduin Lothar who died? Oh shit! Now it's been a while.
No, it wasn't Lothar, because Lothar was the dude who had a very strange
Lothar was
accent that I
basically
could not quite pick out where he was from.
Right, because Lothar was basically the main character. That's right. Yeah. King Lane's the one. Anyway,
I feel like the movie couldn't decide who they wanted the main character to be.
a little bit. Yeah. Anyway,
Australian. The dude who plays Lothar is Australian. That is not the accent I thought that was.
Crikey.
Crikey, mate. Anyway, point being, Uther Lightbrain. He's a paladin. He's the most paladin. He's very paladin. He does all the paladin things because World of Warcraft is World of Warcraft is the game. Warcraft is the universe. Warcraft is heavily inspired by D&D. Big shock. So,
What the fuck? Daniel Wu is fucking Gul'dan?
Don't know who that is, but okay. The actor,
he's the main character from Into the Badlands. If you ever watched that show.
Nope.
Okay. Hold on, I have to see what actually I did know he was from that just innately, but I don't remember really what else he's in.
Doesn't matter. Don't care. Moving on. All right. Doesn't matter. Yeah. That's where we're at.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any others, Josh?
No, not really.
Like others? No,
not really. I do like Solaire though. Now that I've thinking about it, I like Solaire. He's a good second. But yeah,
that's a good one.
I'll stick with Uther, even though he's like the easy pick. Look, I could have done Warcraft characters for every single class in D&D, and I didn't. So, I only did 3. Could have been worse.
All right.
Because I did Malfurion, Anduin, Uther. Oh, and Rexar. It's 4.
Well, try 4 out of the 13 classes.
I'm trying to think. Did I do that for anyone else? I don't think so.
It's only.
I don't think
40-something%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I do it for? I'd have to go back through and look at who I picked for what, because I don't remember exactly.
That's all right. I think most of mine have been comic book characters, except for
but at least they're from different universes. I'm picking from the same universe here. Anyway.
Anyway. So yeah, I with my list of others that universe, like Isaiah said earlier, Captain America. A lot of people are like, yeah, definitely Paladin vibes, except for the magic.
Yeah, I feel like Captain America is perfectly fine as a fighter. I don't really understand the idea of counting
that too.
A Paladin.
Okay, wait. I had a quick one. If you did want to do an anime one, you could make a pretty easy argument for both Arthur and Mordred from Fate.
I mean, yeah.
Mordred arguably more, because Mordred's hate from being an Oathbreaker and hating Arthur upgraded her weapon from it, because they have all the noble vandals have rankings. It upgraded it from a B to like an A+ to like a potentially double A+. She was just like, I fucking hate you so much, and it powered her sword up. So yeah.
I mean, also those two characters are based on the Knights of the Round Table, which is where the idea of paladins essentially kind of
true with Charlemagne.
Yeah.
Astolfo technically a paladin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Josh, you gotta put a picture of Astolfo in the maid outfit and start.
I refuse. I might put a picture of the monster can.
Ooh.
Just put a picture of the monster can with no other context. Just a monster can.
Yeah.
Matt, you don't know that story, do you?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. All right,
no.
it's fine. We'll tell you.
We'll
tell you when you're older.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, sure. Anyways, that. Also, Wonder Woman was another.
Yeah,
big
Wonder Woman.
one.
I get that one makes sense. Oath of Glory is in the game, so like that one makes sense.
Ghost Rider, another popular character.
Ooh, yeah.
Ghost Rider?
Vengeance.
Oath of Vengeance.
Yeah.
I guess he doesn't feel very paladin-y to me, but I guess.
Yeah, he's very evil paladin. Like, uses a chain whip, fucking fire magic.
He's very like Riemann was like, to me, Riemann was like Ghost Rider.
I guess. Yeah. I see that.
What else? I don't know too much about Judge Dredd, but a lot of people on the line were Judge Dredd is a paladin.
Yeah, I've heard people say. Again, I don't see why he can't just be a fighter.
Yep.
I feel like if you don't have magic, just being really aggro about something is not enough to be a paladin. You're just a fighter who's got a mission. I don't see why that has to be a paladin.
Thor.
Thor always felt more cleric-y to me. Is that just me?
He's kind of mixed. Like you can make Thor 5 different ways in D&D, and they're all correct.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
I've always felt like Thor was a cleric. I just felt like that made the most sense.
And then these last ones are these last few are meme ones. Captain Planet. No,
Fuck off. Fuck off. I hate that.
Absolutely not. I fucking refuse.
This is the one I was talking about. The internet was like arguing about. Princess Azula. She's a conquest paladin. Likes to pick on the weak. Crush the enemies beneath their feet. All that.
No.
She's got fire magic.
Bigger argument for Zuko because he literally loses his oath.
I'm gonna see that was the other thing. Zuko was a lot of people chose, but I thought Azula would be funnier.
I'm gonna say no Avatar characters count as paladin because I don't think bending fits the paladin magic enough for them to really feel like a paladin. Like lay on hands, the auras, the divine sense, like that shit's all very specific and very paladin-esque, and I don't feel like firebending is enough to cover that.
Okay. The Hound, Clegane from Game of Thrones. A lot of people are like, he's the guy with the scar face.
I know who he is.
Vengeance Paladin, but no magic again. So it's kind of like,
again, I feel like a paladin has to have magic. You can't be like, oh, he's a paladin, but he doesn't have magic.
He's literally
magic. They have to.
He's literally just like, I have to kill this one guy in particular. I do a fuck ton of damage. I don't cast spells. I use all my spell slots for smiting. And I smite with my fist or whatever the fuck is near me.
But like, see, am I crazy?
Like,
doesn't a paladin?
My weakness is a rock.
Is it just
my
me?
My weakness is a rock.
Is it just me? Doesn't a paladin have to have magic? Like, am I crazy?
I have to say no just because of my actual paladin pick. So,
well, Gazgul has magic though, so it's fine.
I was gonna say I'm with you, Josh. When it comes to like the D&D paladin, but I think you can kind of like, I can see why people would say something.
But we're talking about D&D paladins.
Yeah.
We're talking about D&D specifically here, so I feel like you can't be a paladin example without magic. Like, hello? Something. I don't know.
Anyways, and then my last one, this is just for me. I'm going to go with the best girl in the universe, Darkness from Konosuba. Actual paladin, actual tank.
Don't they literally call her a paladin?
Yes.
No, she's a crusader.
Same fucking thing.
Same. The same shit.
Yeah. That's a synonym.
My girl, the best.
Does she have magical like healing and aura and shit?
No, she has none of those things.
Oh yeah, actually, wait a minute. She doesn't have magic.
She doesn't have any magic? God, for fuck's sake.
No, she doesn't actually have magic. Now that I think about it, hold on.
She has. So she's a paladin. No. She's literally the mystical little brother character. She shows up, has no idea how to do her job other than to walk in front and eat damage, and then you give her a cookie, and then she's like, wow, I did a good job, didn't I?
Yep. Yeah,
that's basically her whole thing. She has maxed out defense stats, she has crazy health, and she's really strong, but
she can't hit shit for the side of her.
She can't, she literally cannot hit. She rolls with constant disadvantage. She's only hit things because something she accidentally broke hit the bad guy.
Yep.
Sounds very not paladin.
I don't know about that. Sounds like the perfect paladin to me.
God damn. Fuck out of here.
Also, I'm sorry, Brett. I opened my phone real quick because I got an email and it just started playing a little chunk of a YouTube video. So
oops.
I'm sorry about that.
I don't know why you're bringing it up
anything.
and not mentioning it later instead of saying it on air, but here we are. Now we look like buffoons.
Look, it's fine. That's part of the brand. We look like buffoons anyway.
I guess. All right.
But that's it for my list of paladins.
Moving on.
Yep.
Fucking A. All right. Have you played the class? Yes, I have a little bit. I played a conquest paladin a little bit.
Conquest! Wow.
Yeah, Valente was a conquest paladin.
Oh yeah.
She was aggro and angry in her first iteration.
I was really hoping you'd say edgy.
She wasn't.
She was also really edgy.
She wasn't. She was kind of edgy. Yeah. She wasn't necessarily evil. She was. I don't know, misguided.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe a little evil.
Mhm.
I don't know, I didn't think about it. If I were to play Valente again, I think I'd probably make her a Ancients Paladin. Recontextualize her as.
So
that'd be cool.
I feel like Valente was potentially evil in the like D&D version of evil, where it's like, but if you're gonna kill a lot of people trying to kill Strahd, and then she'll go, yeah, but I want to do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe.
but you,
The goal is
just-
that way, and there's a bunch of bodies in the way.
Yeah.
I have to clear them out.
Yeah.
Just fact.
you're surrounded. I am only surrounded. What is it? By fear and dead men. Valente, those are villagers. Fear and dead.
Yeah, my point stands. Isaiah,
I'm
you
not
said
trapped
you
in here
already
with
played
Strahd.
Paladin,
Strahd's
so
trapped in here with me.
You know that answer. Matt, did you play Paladin? Have you played?
Yes, I played a Tabaxi Vengeance
Oh, that's right.
Paladin /
Batinga.
Swashbuckler.
I did it
Batinga.
again.
Yeah.
I did
I
the
can't
thing.
believe you would forget about my boy, the main
I know,
character.
you're right.
Of our
I don't know.
No, I'm kidding, I'm fucking-
I think because Batingo in my brain feels like a rogue more than a paladin.
a little
Feels
bit.
more roguey.
Well, it's weird because I think I did an even split
You did.
with
You did.
Rogue
but
Paladin.
he just feels
so
more roguey in my head.
maybe. I mean, I did play up a lot of the Paladin shit throughout the game and
listen,
wanting
I
mostly
don't make
the
the
revenge
rules.
aspect.
I don't make the rules. I'm just telling you where my brain
I think
went.
you just. I don't know. Yeah, I think your brain's just incorrect.
You felt like a swashbuckler. I don't know. That was just where my brain went. I forgot you could divine smite sometimes. Like you would do it. And I'd be like, oh yeah, that's the
Well,
thing.
dude, remember I fucking 1v1 that Marilith
I know.
and somehow fucking lived because of Paladin. Also,
I know.
I actually used spells as a Paladin and they were cool. It was fucking cool to not just waste your fucking spell slot on smites for once. Looking at you, other Paladins in the universe.
All right, we'll get there, Matt. We'll get there.
Don't worry.
Conversation.
We'll fucking
All
get
The
of you?
elephant in the room that is the smite
Every
conversation.
single one of you, I'm calling all of them out.
Okay.
Don't worry, I am too.
I like. All right, this is where we get to the favorite subclass. But can I just abstain
wait,
from this
that-
question?
Hey, you didn't ask Isaiah what he played. If he played.
We know he said it before we got to this point. He said
Oh,
he had
I
played.
did, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
he said it.
all
already.
right, all right. Okay. He did
Now,
the
Matt,
wrong
what's your
order.
favorite subclass of Paladin? Even though I kind of don't care.
Vengeance.
What a dork.
It's between Vengeance and Glory. I do really like Glory after it came out in Theros.
Glory's
Like
a good one.
it is, yeah, it is really cool. But I gotta go with the classic Vengeance. You know,
Isaiah.
Either Crown or Vengeance.
The fuck is
Ooh,
crown? What?
Of the
Prize.
Crown, that's from
Sword Coast Adventurers
Sword Coast
Guide.
Adventure Guide, yeah.
No,
book
we
that no
can't.
one-
That supplement's not real. It,
It-
doesn't exist. You
it-
can't
it-
reference that
Yo,
supplement.
It's on
has some
the
good things in there,
it's
damn it.
Mystifistical 5e tools, and I like it, kind of.
I mean,
I don't
it's
like
on
it,
D&D
but
Beyond
like-
too.
I like it, kind of. I like it because it has Compel Duel.
What is
and
even
Command.
what is even the vibe of it? Like, I don't even know. I
It's
don't.
you're
I-
the royal like I 1v1 you Paladin. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
you're like a royal
the actual
duelist.
knight.
You're-
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the protector Paladin. You're the guy that like I work for royalty. I work for the king, the queen, whatever. I'm their
Let's
protector.
put it this way.
I'm their main dude.
You're the King's Guard from Final Fantasy 15.
I see.
Oh my god, we
There you
didn't
go.
list any of the King's Guard. What the fuck? Prompto, Ignis, and fucking Gladio are definitely paladins.
Nah, I
And they
think
have magic.
I would say the only one who I think feels paladin to me is Gladius. I don't think Prompto or
Really?
Ignis do. No. Ignis feels like a rogue. Prompto is like, I don't know, maybe Artificer.
Yeah, also Oath of the Crown is basically it is, I know we like talked like Devotion Paladin, but I think Oath of the Crown is the stereotypical Paladin. Like literally their tenets are law, loyalty, and courage and responsibility. Like it just screams Paladin shit. And then all the spells they get have to do with you 1v1 me or, you know, Holy Aura stuff and Spirit Guardians
Yeah,
and
but
Banishment.
Matt, but
Yeah.
devotion is honesty, courage, compassion, and honor and duty.
Yeah.
I think devotion
Yeah,
is
but I-
default paladin. It's like,
Yeah,
especially because
yeah.
the whole thing with devotion is I'm so fucking extra devoted to my thing that I get more Chadley from how devoted I am. Like, because that's the whole thing with paladin, right? You're devoted to your oath, and oath of devotion is like doubling down. You know?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah,
I don't
right.
know. I'm not saying Oath of the Crown is not that not Paladin energy, but I don't know. Devotion feels very stereotypical, especially with those tenants. Okay, Crown. I didn't even know Crown existed.
What about you, Joshua?
I don't know, man. I want to abstain
okay.
from this question. I don't know which Paladin.
You just say Conquest is the one you played.
It's not my favorite.
Oh.
I played Conquest because I wanted to play like kind of an evil-y, edgy Paladin, and Conquest kind of fits that the best.
Yeah.
So here's my problem. My favorite fictionally and like story-wise, I think is Oath of Ancients. Because I really love the idea of the Green Knight.
Yeah, Green Knight, nature. Yeah. I'm a sucker for wood armor.
Yes,
Phrasing.
I think the wood armor is very cool. I don't know if you remember, Matt, but the paladins in Matt Colville's book were all Green Knights.
Yeah, they're all Green Knights.
Love them.
They have really cool art of them in not Flea Mortals, but in Kingdoms and Warfare. They
of those characters?
I think they were those characters. I'll try and find it, but basically he has a whole
this.
army of they're literally called like Order of the Green Knights, whatever. Yeah, they're fucking sick.
So yeah, I want to say Ancients, but mechanically Ancients is kind of It's a little you know? It's not.
Yeah, like I want to like Ancients, but it doesn't really.
It's a little bit more
good.
of the spellcastery paladin, and like its channel divinities, they're okay. Yeah, they don't quite. That being said, they do get Misty Step.
No, baby.
Yeah, but yeah, they're just. I don't know. They're okay. I do love that they get commune with nature. That I'm a big fan of. I love the idea of the paladin who could. I don't know if you've sensed a theme with me, but I really like naturey magic themed characters. I really like druids, rangers, and ancient paladins. There's a theme here.
He likes the aminals.
Ew, I like the animals and the trees and all that fun.
Nature.
And yeah, so like I don't know. So I guess I'll say ancients because I'm really attached to the concept of the ancients, but I do recognize that mechanically it's like okay. Mechanically, probably Vengeance is probably the best one. I'm thinking mechanically.
Yeah, I don't even think it's close. I think it's Vengeance.
Yeah, especially because their avenging angel form is sick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's sick, but I
best.
just feel like you get it way too late for it to be even remotely cool.
Well, you get all of the paladin's transformations at level 20.
It's their ultimate. It's like the one actual capstone in the fucking game. Like,
I know. So here's my thing: is Vengeance Paladin's level 20 ability? It's just fucking Aura of Dread or Form of Dread. It's literally just Form of Dread, except it lets you fly.
Sometimes lets you fly.
And it lasts an hour, I guess. But like,
yeah. I mean, hopefully it could get a little bit of a bump, potentially in the rules refresh. We'll see. But yeah. In comparison to Form of Dread, it feels a little bit underwhelming nowadays.
Now, like,
I mean,
it lets you do like crazy.
Though.
It does, but like.
Whereas Form of Dread
doesn't
only
add
like,
that much. It adds the flying speed and the frighten aura, and that's it. Unfortunately. And Isaiah's right. Form of Dread does let you frighten people in the same fashion.
Yeah.
Now, if it let you like do crazy radiant damage or like summon fucking avatars of vengeance
or some shit,
like
angels.
Yeah, like I'm thinking about it like Head Captain Yamamoto when he does his Bankai and he like summons the charred corpses of the people he's killed.
Yep.
He'd be a good Vengeance Paladin. What the fuck?
Kinda.
Damn it. All the good ideas are coming after I said them. I don't regret my answers because
I was
my
gonna
girl,
say,
but also
I think Grazgul the true best answer. Alrighty. Yep. Where do we even begin? All right, why don't we start here, Isaiah? Isaiah, I'm gonna hand you the microphone. Tell us why you think Paladin is poo-poo garbage.
I mean,
it's a safe space here.
I'm gonna lean back Take a little sippy sip of the wine and pop off, King.
All right. I mean, okay. So if we're gonna get into it, we're gonna get into fuck it. I feel like
yeah.
Paladin just doesn't do anything I fucking want it to do. It's very fucking annoying. It just doesn't do.
Okay, hold on.
All right, cool.
Wait. Let me ask before you go start. Before you really go off. In your brain, what do you think Paladin is supposed to be doing?
So for me, despite the fact, I have begrudgingly acknowledged that Paladin is the DPS over Barbarian. I still don't like it, but I agree. I don't like it. I don't agree with it, but I accept it. You know.
I mean, I also don't think Paladin should be the DPS of any creature. I think they should not have the best DPS by far.
I feel like they should be more tanky than
yes. So I want Paladin to be support DPS, kind of like they are in 14, actually.
They're not support at all. They are tanking. 14. What are you talking about?
Well, they don't they have heals? Don't they can't you heal your
They
allies?
do have heals. That's true. Yeah. They do have heals.
They have heals and buffs and shit like that. So I'm like, all right. That's kind of what I want, right? I like the idea of sword and shield and running and eating damage, and I like the smites, but I just don't like that I have to choose whether or not I want to do smite or spell. People are like, what's part of it? No, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Because you could this was achievable with the fucking to be fair, it came out later, so fair enough, but the Artificer's infusions and how some of them have charges and shit. I would have preferred if you had charges to your smites and you make them stupid powerful, right? If you have them equal to your modifier +1 or +2, whatever it is. Let them do comical damage, and you have less of them, which makes me feel less bad about using them for spell. Just ignoring the fact that I have a spell list. Yeah, it's why? I don't fucking, what do you think?
Well, it's okay, Isaiah. Now it's going to be spells in general.
No, they still have Divine Smite.
Didn't they turn it into a spell in one of the playtests?
No,
Ooh,
they
got me.
They reworked the Smite spells, but they didn't turn it into a spell.
I thought they turned Divine Smite into the regular one into a spell at one point.
I think so.
Yeah, no, if they had done that would have got me fucked up. But no, thank God. I do like they have all the auras. The auras are really cool. For me, I just feel like Paladin is better for anything I want to do with it as a multi-class option. If I want to do something, I'm gonna multi-class into Paladin. Or if I'm really jonesing for the martial proficiency, I'll start with Paladin and immediately level out of it, just because.
Not to interrupt, but yeah, they did turn into a spell in the last UA. I'm looking at it right now. Divine Smite, second
That's
level.
Disgusting.
Yep.
That is disgusting. My day is ruined. I hate it.
Because I think in their mind, it's it's already using a spell slot, so might as well just turn it into a spell.
I mean, yeah, if it's using,
it does the exact same shit.
Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense. From a design standpoint, the fact that it wasn't a spell did feel slightly in fact, I remember being.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like what Isaiah's saying, or just have it be a separate, little pool. You do it, whatever proficiency bonus times a day, fuck it, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, see, my beef is that I just think it's just Divine Smite is just too fucking good. Here's the thing.
Yes, yeah. It's the barbarian problem. Yeah.
There's so many ways you can tackle the divine. This is why, all right. This is why I said it's like a 4.7 or a 4.8 for me for Paladin, because Divine Sense makes me angry like nobody's business. And Smites, something needs to change. Now, I just want to get this off my chest real quick. I just want to read everyone listening. I just want to read you all Divine Sense. I just want to explain a little bit. So, just so we're all on the same page. I know, and you're going to tell me, Josh, it's not that important of an ability. I don't care. How stupid it is pisses me off, even though it's not that important of an ability and you don't use it that often. Divine Sense. The presence of strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor, and powerful good rings like heavenly music in your ears. As an action, you can open your awareness to detect such forces. I like the flavor of that, so good start, right? Until the end of your next turn, you know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of you that is not behind total cover. Okay, only 60 feet? And if they're behind cover, I just don't... So I can't sense them through doors.
I will say 60 feet is actually a lot. That's perfectly.
The ranger can do it for miles, Matt. Miles.
Yeah, but that's their shtick. That's their trained
miles.
Fucking, hunter.
You could have given them
I
more.
don't know.
You could have.
Here's my thing, bud. You say that, but I feel like you can make an equal argument for divine sense being the paladin's
being
thing.
the paladin's thing. Yeah, kind of.
Because it's like I don't know. To me, that's like the I sense a disturbance in the force.
Yeah,
that's
exactly
such a uniquely paladin thing.
Yeah, but paladins are also supposed to be like the melee guy. Why would you have something 120 feet away where it's like, all right, and then I pull out my my sword and I huck it at him? And you're like,
because the point of divine sense is to know the danger is coming. This is why I hate this ability. The idea behind divine sense is I sense a disturbance in the force. I know that danger is ahead of us, so I'm going to prepare for it. But if the zombie is standing behind a closed door, I can't sense that they're ahead of me.
Oh,
so it's
that
fucking
I agree.
worthless.
No, that I agree with you is kind of...
It should be farther, and it shouldn't matter if they're behind cover, but there's more.
Like, if they're, like, through a fucking 3 feet of thick stone, then yeah, sure, I can see maybe divine sense not working, but, like... Dungeons. No, I'm saying that's the point of why they have that. It's because of dungeons. That's the only reason why they have that ruling of like...
Yeah, the only... I agree with Josh. The thing that I would be...
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. I agree. It should work unless it's like, again, 3 feet of thick fucking stone. No, that's it. No, I don't believe that. That's kind of that's it. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. What do you mean? Like, if it's 3 feet, like a big stone wall, like I'm saying like a fucking thick stone. Not like if it's like a thin wall or regular house building.
Matt, it's magical divine powers. Why is it beaten by basic stonework?
Bro, if fucking lead can stop Superman, then fucking 3 feet of stone should stop divine smite. It fictionally is weird.
No, it's fictionally weird that a solidly constructed brick wall stops my magical senses.
A window pane.
Yeah.
Again, if it's a normal brick wall, fine. If it's fucking...
What's the difference?
I'm saying, like, the thickness. What do you mean?
It's
what's
magic,
the difference? Are you
man.
not hearing
Who gives a fuck how thick the wall is?
It doesn't fucking make any sense. You fucking.
What do you mean it doesn't? Matt, I'm using magical god powers to smell zombies, and you're telling me thick walls can stop that? Who the fuck cares if it doesn't make any sense? No.
Yeah.
No, it shouldn't, because the ability's not even that powerful, so letting it go through walls is really not even that big of a buff. It just takes it from being useless to slightly useful. I fucking hate divine sense.
Through walls, yes. Through
all walls. Everything. No, it's also only 60 feet. It's only 60 feet, Matt. You can't let the paladin send something 60 feet away,
60 feet
even
is
if it's
fine.
a
As
thick
someone
wall.
who uses
it's only 60
a fucking
feet.
Virtual tabletop, 60 feet is tons of room. You are fine. You do not need more than that. I
just don't want it stopped by walls. That's all I ask.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah,
no, any walls. I don't care. No, your argument of 3 foot walls is also a no.
If the wall is too thick, then they cannot quit.
No, I don't care how thick the wall is. My divine sense should be able to sense through the fucking walls, because it's stupid and useless otherwise.
My compromise here is that if it's behind really thick cover, maybe you can't tell exact numbers.
Maybe, but you can't tell exact numbers already.
You know what? That's it. Paladin should be a fighter subclass. That's it. I'm done.
Personally, I think that's fucking stupid. Where it's like I know it's like it's a feeling. Yeah, but like I don't like that. I want the like Naruto fucking Byakugan. There's 30 people around us. We're surrounded. Like,
here's the other half of the ability. You know the type, celestial fiend or undead, of any being whose presence you sense, but not its identity. It doesn't say anything about being able to count them. Within the same
I know,
radiance.
that's what I'm saying. I don't like that.
Yeah, I know. I agree. Within the same radiance, you also detect the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated, as with the hallowed spell. Sure, fine. That part's fine. But like again, if there's a zombie on the other side of the window, I can't do anything. And Matt, this is why I don't like your argument of like, well, if it's 3 feet of stone, who gives it? What is this arbitrary? Well, if it's a really thick wall, just let me sense the now, if you want to say, oh, the wall is magically guarded, like there's a spell on the wall so divine senses work, fine. But a thick ass piece of dwarven meat stone should not block my divine sense just because it's
because
stone.
It's also in fiction, in actual like Forgotten Realms lore, and in actual magic and actual books. They do this shit. They actually do these things where certain wizards and stuff, they're trying to hide from people. They're like, all right, we made these walls so thick that nothing, no divine magic can pierce through them. Sometimes they'll put leads in the wall and they're like, it's in one of Matt Colville's books, actually, too.
Bullshit.
He did this. No,
yeah,
fuck
stupid.
you. It's in the book.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, if you want to establish...
Josh is really doing the I'm aware of the council's decision, but considering I think it's a stupid-ass decision, I have elected to ignore it.
I am electing to ignore it. Here's the thing. If you want to establish in your universe that certain materials block divination magic, like, oh, if the wall's built out of lead, divination magic doesn't work, fine. I will accept that if you establish that as an in-universe rule. But D&D hasn't done anything like that. There's no sort of anti-magic material, to my knowledge.
So not mechanically... there's mechanically.
The message spell very specifically states, magic silence, 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, that's 3 feet of wood.
But that's not about...
Suck my dick from the back, Josh.
No, you're wrong, because that's not about the material. It's about how thick it is.
That's what I was.
No, I know. What I'm saying is, if you want to establish in your fiction that a specific material 100% blocks divination magic, fine. But D&D doesn't do that. It says the varying degrees of thickness block divination magic, and I think that's fucking dumb. That, oh, if I build a wood door, it doesn't block it, but if I make my wood door really fucking thick with 3 cubes, it blocks divination magic. That's fucking stupid. It's the same material.
No one ever knows what dwarves are doing because all their walls are thick.
Why the fuck would building a thicker door suddenly mean that magic doesn't work anymore? That makes no
magic has to travel through
magic works like a radio signal, obviously.
That makes why would magic work like a radio signal? That makes no fucking sense.
I don't know, talk to Mistra.
Makes absolute I will talk to Mistra. I'm gonna call up my boy Gale and say your girl's fucking up.
So Josh is like, Mistra, meet my goddess, Karen.
Yeah.
Can I speak to your manager?
This is what I'm saying. It's just so fucking stupid, because and then the way divine sense is right now, it's literally only use case scenario is if there's a fiend, a celestial, or an undead that's invisible near you. That is the only situation where it's useful, because here's the problem. If an enemy's 60 feet away from you, right, but there's no cover between you and the enemy, why would you use divine sense? You could just see them with your fucking eyeballs. So there's literally no use case for this ability unless they're invisible. That's the only use case. And how many celestial fiends and undead are going invisible all the goddamn time? Not really that many.
Let it be said maybe ghosts. Josh told me go off king and has at this point been malding for 5 minutes straight.
I fucking hate divine sense so much.
Literally did the Kanye Taylor Swift thing. I'll let you finish, however.
I think the reason it bothers me so much is because I love the fiction. I love the idea, like the fictional concept of divine sense, and the fact that it's so fucking gimped is such a betrayal. This has been my TED Talk on divine sense. You know how I want that spell to work? It should be, I'm fine with this. Fine, you want to stick with the 60 feet? Fine. 60 feet, no cover of any kind blocks it. That's all I ask.
All right.
You can keep everything else. Everything else. Because 60 feet isn't that far anyway. And if you want to nerf it to 30 feet, fine. 30 feet, but no cover blocks it. Fine. I'll take it.
See. Well, let me see what in the recent playtest what they did.
Reminder, Matt, your argument of, thick walls block divine sense. The thick walls don't block primeval awareness for the ranger.
Well, it should.
But it doesn't. So why?
Well, listen,
the ranger can do it and the paladin can't? That's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Paladins need to be nerfed.
It's bullshit. This is not the place to nerf them. This is the wrong
So
part to
I
nerf
actually,
them.
I arguably think that paladins need to be buffed.
Paladins
make them
absolutely
more-
do
Are
not
you-
need to be buffed.
are you on
out of your
crack?
fucking mind?
No, hear me out. No, wait, let me
Paladin
cook.
is the
Hold on.
best class by far.
No, here, hold on. Let me cook. Pause.
Yep.
I don't.
Pause.
There's no amount of cooking.
If you separate
no.
the smites from the spells,
Hmm?
you you can nerf the way that smiting works, but make it physically stronger, and that allows paladins to use their spells more, which will stop them from smiting as much.
Which
Thoughts?
isn't. That's not a. I mean, I don't know if that's either a buff or a nerf, to be honest. I'd have to really look at the spells they get to figure that one. Okay. The problem with Smite is there's so many different ways to deal with the problem, right? Okay, because here's the thing. Smite right now, it uses the same resource as spells. So you don't end up using your spells very much, which I agree is a problem because I do think paladins should use their spells. So I agree that's a problem. But I also understand the game design concept of having a resource that is shared between multiple mechanics being potentially interesting because you have to make a choice about what to spend your resources on. When we did the Ranger episode, I brought this up already, but everyone take a shot. In Street Fighter, you have the drive gauge, and the drive gauge is an interesting mechanic in that game because you have like 5 or 6 different things you could potentially do with said drive gauge that can really add to the uniqueness of how you play. So there's potential. The problem is smites are so good that you just end up choosing smites over and over and over again because there's no downside. So then you go, okay, how do we deal with that problem? Well, you could nerf the damage. That's the really straightforward and easy option is you bring it down to a D6 or a D4 or something, or maybe you make the pool smaller.
Do you want my opinion from someone who's played a lot of Call of Duty back in the day?
I was going to say no until you said Call of Duty. Where are you going with this?
Did you just say get rid of it?
Back
Did you
in-
genuinely just say
back in
get
mod-
rid of Smite?
Yeah. Back in Modern Warfare
Okay, that's
1,
too far.
the original,
Whoa.
the original Modern Warfare game,
Uh-huh.
every single motherfucker, myself included, used the perk stopping power. It was so ridiculously better than all the other red perks. It's the only one that everyone used. So what did they do in Modern Warfare 2? Infinity Ward, they got rid of it.
Okay.
And you know what happened? People found new perks to play.
I understand.
Yeah, they played
The other
fucking
st-
Juggernaut instead, Matt. What's your point?
Not everybody, no, because they fucking nerfed
Yes,
Juggernaut in Modern Warfare 2.
no, sir. Everyone
Yeah, yeah.
did fucking Juggernaut and Commando Pro, and don't lie to me and say that you didn't.
No,
because you fucking did.
Commando Pro was fucked. No, Commando Pro was fucked. I'll give you that. But no, they did nerf Juggernaut. Then they updated after a while because the first like few months, Juggernaut was fucking broken. I'll give you that. Juggernaut was busted. But it also wasn't it wasn't the red perk though. They changed it to like that separate fucking slot. Anywho's
I fucking I
keep
fucking
the other
hate Call
slots,
of
but yeah,
Duty.
no, get rid of Divine Smite.
I fucking hate Call of
Absolutely
Duty
not.
and haven't played it,
No,
so I have
get
no
the fuck
opinion.
out. No, this is where I gotta agree with Josh. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no. Okay. Hold on. Just fucking no. I don't think getting rid of Divine Smite is
Ability
the
to
option.
cook revoked.
Yeah, no. I don't think getting rid of Divine Smite is the option because A, that's just lazy game design. That's problem number one. That's incredibly lazy. B, I think Divine Smite should be part of the Paladin identity because any kind of fiction where you have Paladin-esque characters, they almost always like raise their sword, chant some mighty holy magic, and then it starts to glow, and then they fucking smack down the shit out of some monster.
Yeah, it's called Magic Weapon.
Yeah, but that's not the same
Get the
vibe.
fuck out of here.
Because somebody else has to. First of all, somebody else is usually casting magic weapon on them, but also it's not the same. That is not the same thing as a divine
No,
smite hit.
I will give it. Well, again, I don't want the other smites gone. Like,
Okay.
let them create more smite spells. God, English. But like, either that or you can nerf it. But I feel like if you get rid of it completely, it opens up more potential.
No, getting rid of it is not the move.
Okay.
You can't.
So I forgot. I wanted to talk about the smites. All right, this is something else that pissed me the fuck off.
God,
about
I'm
fucking
trying.
smites.
I had a list I was trying to go through.
Too bad.
Nope.
You wanted me to
Chuck
cook
Testa.
before. Now I'm fucking cooking. All right.
Yeah, go for it.
I fucking cannot stand the smite spells. I hate them. I hate them so much.
What? I know
They
a lot
suck.
of people. Why? What? No, some of them are.
Yes.
I mean, the higher level ones are pretty good. You gotta admit. The
No,
fifth
okay.
level ones.
Here's the issue. right? Here's the issue.
It's because their concentration. That's what he's gonna say.
It's because their concentration. Yeah, that's literally it. It's because their fucking concentration. Your whole point of the Paladin is to get smacked in your fucking forehead every 2 seconds. That's your job. That's what you're there to do. You walk up, you slap your divine meat on the table, and say, "Come get." And you know what? If you get smacked enough, you're gonna lose your concentration. It's very fucking annoying. Rather, why the fuck did they not just make it an option to where you can modify your fucking smite? And yes, I know the reason is going to be because then you can stack your smites. Shut the fuck up. Who gives a fuck? Like, you're doing so much damage as a paladin as a GM. Anyway.
No, that's too much. I give a fuck. That is too much.
No, because here's the thing. Like, don't add the extra damage. Just give it the ability and say you can only do 1 per turn.
What? You mean give it the ability?
So you like, only do Thunderous Smite has the effect of Thunderous Smite, but it does not do the extra damage of Thunderous Smite. So you can just modify your Smite to have an effect, which makes Smite more interesting.
So confused. That's going to be so confusing design-wise.
I don't know. I feel like if you just get rid of,
because here's the thing.
If you just get rid of Divine Smite and just use the Smite spells, I can see that being okay, because and then again, worst case, you just buff the damage of the smite spells, and then you're fine.
Matt, you don't have to worry about shit. You're not getting us to agree to get rid of divine smite.
I'm not. I'm throwing this out there because there might be some people who do agree with me. Probably not. Oh, you fucking dirty paladin, fucking warlock, mixing fucking. Anyways,
I like how he's calling these people out, and yet these mysterious people. Although I've been telling these mysterious people to shut the fuck up anyway, so it's fine. But like, also Matt was like, top 3 classes. I guarantee it. Like,
I'm telling you, Paladin is going to be huge in China.
Huge. Here's the thing, though, Josh. I don't think it's going to be that confusing because fucking evocations exist. So you have things like divine, Eldritch Spear,
Invocations.
Grasp of Hadar. Invocations.
Oh, yeah.
You have those. It's the same thing.
No, you're talking
Meta
about...
magic works basically the same thing.
Wait, what? No, you were talking about combining the smite spells as you cast them or some shit.
No. What I was saying is you cast Divine Smite, but rather than having smite spells that you could theoretically stack on top of your Divine Smite, you just go, okay, I'm going to Divine Smite and use my Thunderous ability on it. That's what I was saying.
Oh, so take the smite spells out, wrap it all under Divine Smite, and then, like, be able to select different. I mean,
like meta magic them, yes.
Yeah, you can meta magic divine smites. Yeah, you could potentially do that.
Yeah,
and that way it gets rid of a bunch of the spells that I can't fucking stand.
I still think you gotta nerf the damage a little bit.
No, look, that's why I said you can take the damage off of them. Just make them purely ability based.
No, I'm saying you need to definitely nerf the damage of divine smite because you're adding the ability and the damage of Divine Smite. That's too much. So you definitely have to nerf the
you can do that anyway.
Smite. I was to say now what you can do is you can use the Smite damage, the spell, plus Divine Smite if you crit or whatever, and then...
No, you can't. What?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can. What do you mean?
Because the spell smites are all bonus action. So you can hit them with it, and then, hit? Okay, and I'm going to smite on top of that hit.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
So now so that's what I'm saying. Now you're able to just double stack smite. What they're doing with the 5.5 D nuts is that they're making it a spell, so now you can't double dip.
Right, now you have to choose. You're just adding to the spells no one cares about.
Okay, first of all, Isaiah, you're absolutely wrong in that statement. Most people like the smite spells. Second of all, you two are both going for the fucking nuclear options. Relax, both.
Bro, I literally told you I wanted to give this a fucking 2. What do you expect?
I know, but like, okay.
And I gave it a 5, and I want to get rid of the main feature most people fucking love.
I need to go. Hold on. There's so many things.
Also, wait, you were just actually malding, and now you're mad at us.
No, I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying you guys both went for the most nuclear possible problem. So, like, you went for the nuclear solution so fast, and I think y'all are jumping the shark way too much.
As I did.
You know what? I did a 360 fucking axle off the shark as I did it.
Because Matt said remove it from the game, and Isaiah said rework the entire mechanic, and both of you are going ballistic. Chill the fuck out.
Absolutely not. No.
None of the things I was gonna say were either of those options.
What were you gonna say then?
Okay. Jesus Christ. First of all, Isaiah, you realize the concentration on the smite spells is only while you have the smite on your weapon. You understand that, right?
Yes, I do.
So as soon as you hit the monster, you drop the concentration. So it's really not that big of a deal that they're concentration. I'm gonna be honest. Like them being concentration is a minor issue. You're only gonna have it for like maybe 2 or 3 turns. If you're really unlucky and you miss for 2 turns straight, then yeah, you have to deal with that concentration.
I was gonna say, yeah,
that's pretty unlikely.
It's why it's the concentration, because God forbid you actually miss on your turn. Then it's like, all right, well, at least
you still have it.
And also most people that play paladins, like they probably have a good con. Like if it's not their second strongest stat, it's probably their third.
Here's the thing. Even if it is, you're going to be attacked like more than everyone else, being the paladin. Maybe not more than, for example, the barbarian or the fighter, but you are going to be attacked exponentially more than, say, the backlane wizard. So you're going to be hit more. So statistically, you are more likely to fail those con saves, even if you have higher con. Because you're going to be eating more damage.
Well, but then paladins also have higher ACs. So it's less likely you're up front. You're supposed to be tanked, but your AC is redonkulous most of the time. So you might not even get hit. Because let's say
you are far less likely to get hit than
like
most
stereotypical paladin. You
start with 18 AC.
Yeah, exactly. At low levels, that's fucking you're almost untouchable. Yeah.
Yes, and then also you're also at low level. At low level, it's basically irrelevant because you have 18 AC, and then when you do get hit, it's only a DC 10 con check, which you're con save, which you're almost certainly going to make pretty much all the time. Like you got to be pretty unlikely to be dropping that. And again, it's only concentration while you're holding on to the spell, which is not going to be very long.
And then
I really don't think that's a big deal.
Well, higher levels too, actually not even higher levels. At level 6, you get the aura. So then
your saves are even better. Yes, correct.
Even better.
Your saves are even stronger.
And I hate being that guy, but most people, if you look at the online community build, most people who play Paladin end up taking Resilience and picking Constitution to get the con save proficiency and then a +1 to Constitution, and then you're good. It's in most fucking people's builds when they play Paladin.
I don't give a shit about build crafting. So
no, I'm just throwing that as another little piece of information from shit I've seen, shit I've read from the D&D community.
I don't really think that's. I don't think build stuff is worth even bringing up. You're getting too noodly at that point. Just looking at the class. Looking at the class at face value. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But even so, as I was saying, is your only beef with them concentration? Like, are you fine with what they do?
The biggest one is that a lot of their spells are concentration, and I just don't feel like dealing with it because it's like I just no.
But you don't mind it on any other class
because those classes are getting hit far less.
I don't think they are. I think you're kind of overstating how big of a deal this is.
I don't think I am, but fair enough.
I think it's not like every single thing a paladin ever does is concentration.
And most of the time, paladins,
the majority of their spells are concentration.
I don't think they are.
I'm looking at the list right now. Out of their 53 spells in the game currently, over half of them are concentration based. Okay, it's not 50, a lot, but
you'll see what I mean.
It's a little over half.
But again, if a lot of those are the smites, which are concentration, but they're also kind of not concentration because you're gonna.
There's only
it's not most of the smites. It's so here's another thing, right? It's the smites, the auras.
The auras are automatic. What are you talking about?
Nope, they are not.
The paladin auras aren't spells; they're class abilities.
No, they have spells and they have spells.
The aura spells. Those ones it'll be relevant.
So I got it's 30 spells out of their 53 are concentration.
This kind of goes into it, right?
A little more than
I would like the ability to not have to worry. Again, this for the smite specifically. I don't want to have to choose between popping an aura or popping a smite. I'd rather just do a smite while having an aura up.
Well, that's why Divine Smite exists.
Yeah, but again,
because you can aura and Divine Smite.
Sure, but it's also boring. comparatively to the other.
I mean, it doesn't do as many. No, it's just it's the damage smite versus the other ones, which are like crowd control smites.
Sort of, yeah.
It's basically what they do.
Yeah, I like. There's too many concentration spells in the Paladin. There's too many things that you need to keep concentrating on, with no way of either concentrating on a second spell or like hot swapping them. If you could do shit like that, then I'd be like, okay, this is kind of cool. This is like interesting. There's a level of like skill involved, but you can't really.
Well, I think
like you can, but the you're gonna be doing some weird wacky shit with the fucking action economy, and it's really not. Well,
there kind of is a level of skill involved though, because or maybe not skill, but there's a sort of build craft decision you're making, because you're deciding if you're going to be the sort of aggro damage paladin versus the more support the team paladin, when you're sort of picking between the smite spells or the aura spells.
Yeah. Are you going, great sword,
kind of like,
both hands and being, fucking Archon, or are you gonna like sword and board and then take defensive fighting style to protect your buddy?
But like, I think Divine Smite should be nerfed. In those options, like I said, you could do once per turn. You could do what I've said before, which is you have to pre-declare the smite. You could do lowering the damage of Divine Smite. You could make Divine Smite a concentration potentially. Like, there's lots of ways. Everyone's going to have a different answer on how they want to deal with it, but I think Divine Smite needs to be nerfed, because it's just the optimal pick 90% of the time, which is boring. And yeah. I also think they should lean into Paladins being the support tank more, and lean into like the aura, the help the buddies, lay on hands, Paladin auras, the aura spells. I almost kind of wish the smite spells didn't exist, like, or they existed in like a different form. I don't know. Them, I think, is weird, but I do get why they're concentration, because it's like, if you can have up Aura Vitality and then also be throwing out Eldritch Smites or whatever, or like Thunderous Smite, you are getting kind of crazy, and the Paladin's already so fucking strong. I don't know exactly, because if they're not concentration, I don't know exactly what where the way to balance them out is. Because I'm gonna be 100 on this one. As someone who's had to deal with a paladin in their game for a good long while now, shit's fucking annoying, bro. Like, there's that
meme of the paladin the picture of the combo. Different classes where it's like, do you want to be the guy that's the fighter, the barbarian, and the cleric combined? Just play paladin. They do it all.
Exactly. That's kind of the problem. They're too good at too many things. I think they need I think they shouldn't be the damage guy. Absolutely not. I think rogues and like potentially rangers should be way more of the damage guy when we're talking about martial people than paladins. I do not think paladin should be the damage guy, and the fact that the paladin rogue multi-class combo is so ridiculously good, and it's not even hard to notice. Like, this is what annoys me about it, right? It's like, it's a really good multi-class combo, and literally everyone and their grandmother can look at rogue for 5 seconds and then look at paladin for 5 seconds and go, oh, this is a good combo. Like, it's not even a hard thing to figure out. It requires very little game knowledge to be like, many dice plus many dice equal many more dice. Like, number go bigger, so number go bigger.
I didn't even really think it was possible until I saw like Critical Role, and I was like, oh wait. Yeah, I was like, they just add to get the smites and the.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh shit!
It's the easiest number go bigger, so number go bigger combo that there possibly is. Like, it's just one of those things you look at, and you're like, wow, oh yeah, of course. Yeah. It's so goofy, like,
especially with the Matingo build of fucking swashbuckler, where it's the 1v1 rogue. I specifically fight you directly, and then Vengeance Paladin is I do more damage to that fucking thing specifically. Yeah, it was so in the early game, I was struggling hard until like level 6. Yeah. Then I was like, hey, this is not bad.
Pretty good.
This is great. Yeah. I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
Like, I think making Divine Smite a spell and then sort of reworking all of the smite spells themselves, I could kind of see, like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they're changing a bunch. Like, I'm reading some of the design notes. Like, literally for just making Divine Smite a spell, they literally just say it in here. It's to make it easier to figure it out. We want all the smites to be in one specific space, so we want them all to be spells for figure. They go into why are they changing like blinding? Yeah.
I mean, I could see a situation where you make a class ability called Smite, and then every time you smite, you choose Eldritch, Divine, Thunderous, Banishing. Like, you choose, and then it gives you some kind of modifying effect, and like Divine is the damage one, and then Banishing is the banish one. I could kind of see that, but they're still going to be really, really strong. That doesn't address the problem of them being too powerful.
Well, because right now what it's doing is at level 2, you basically you get them as a extra spell list, basically.
Yeah, you get them.
And then you just have them prepared. So at level 2, you get Divine Smite, Thunder Smite, and then so on and so forth.
Yeah, like I could kind of see both ways. I also, man, for starters, I just think fucking knock Divine Smite down to D6s, for fuck's sake. Like, just please.
Nah, I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
knock it down to D6s. That's not that big of a damage.
Give the monk
nerf.
more damage.
It's a light damage nerf. It's a very light damage
D8s on the monk.
Maybe not. I don't know about that. Monk, because Monk's damage is more consistent. Divine Smite you do once in a while, so I don't know if I'd do that. But I think just bring Divine Smites down to D6s. I don't think that's, and I'm even okay with the improved Smite ability, the improved Divine Smite, which has a terrible name. The one that adds automatic radiant damage to your attacks. I'm okay with that one.
That one's pretty good. Yeah,
that could stay as a D8. I think that's kind of all right.
I don't think Divine Smite does more damage to undead anymore.
Which I hate. I hate that.
You've lost me.
That particular change is goofy because it kind of kills some of the flavor of Divine Smite. I think it should do more damage to feeds than undead. That's the Paladin's thing.
And also going back,
don't nerf
just
that
for
part.
One sec to Divine Sense for the playtest for UA6.
Yeah, I know they buffed it, didn't they?
Basically, yeah, it's still 60 feet, but is unaffected by any walls or anything.
Thank God. I forgot they did that, actually. It hurt me. The design team's on my side, Matt. My side.
Unfortunately, I just want them to condense this bitch down.
Condense it?
Yeah, like I said, I drop a bunch of the spells, make them additions to class features. To me, it almost feels like there's like a weird bloat.
I mean, are you saying you don't want paladins to have spells?
No, I want them to have I want them to have spells, but I want there to be less spells that you need to concentrate on because you either do the thing that you guys literally said, which is, you just choose which spells you use. It's like, all right, cool, but that means most people are not going to be able to experience a lot of those spells. Or they're not even that they're not going to be able to. They just won't.
But that's true of every class. It's true of every class, though. You're not going to be able to pick, and you're not going to pick and or utilize every possible spell on every class. Like, that's not a uniquely Paladin problem.
That's not technically true, unfortunately. Like, for example, if you're playing... Well, no, it's not. Because if you're playing something like, for example, Wizard, you have the different subclasses, and you are literally incentivized to use those other schools that are based on your subclass.
Yes, and you're not going to use the spells that aren't under your subclass.
No, but you could play another subclass. That's what I'm saying. If you're playing, if you're playing a wizard, right? If you're playing an evocation wizard, the build that you are going to have as an evocation wizard is going to be completely different to what I'm going to have as a conjuration wizard. At least 80% different, because I'm being incentivized to do different things.
Yeah, but you just said part of the issue of the Paladins, they don't get to use, a lot of people aren't going to use all the spells, but that's true of everybody. Because you're going to use the spells that are for the character you're making. Like every class, that's the case. You're not really incentivized to use other spells as a Paladin. Your spell list is not very wildly like a wizard's does.
You're not incentivized to use spells in general as a Paladin.
True, that as well. and the whatever ones you are incentivized
they want
to
you
use,
to like. There's the what's the meme picture where it's like the guy pointing at all the spells, and then the other side is Divine Smite. Like, ooh, what will I use my spell slot on?
Well, yeah,
today?
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying Divine Smite needs to be nerfed because it's too good of a choice.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you on that part, Isaiah, that it is too good of a choice. But I feel like you want to have your cake and eat it too, where you're like, I want to be able to utilize my spells, but also have all this other ridiculous shit that they already had. Like, you got to give somewhere. You can't be like, their smites are amazing and they get all these amazing spells at the same time. Like, that's ridiculous.
If they're going to do that much,
that's ridiculous. They're already the best fucking class.
I don't think you like. I don't think it is too much to ask. I don't, because like
how?
Because again, you have shit like Wizard, which is just ridiculous at times.
But
but out
Wizard
of all
has
the
downsides.
If
Paladin doesn't.
Yes,
this is the problem. Paladins really don't have a downside. This is what a lot of the issue is. They're too good at everything.
If they are strength Paladin, that's the only thing.
Yes, there's a slight downside if you're strength Paladin in that you're. Well, is there even a downside? Not really. Even then.
Yeah, if you're strength Paladin, you most likely dump dex because you're like, oh, I don't need my dexterity to be up for armor.
Yeah.
And then until level 6, you are basically failing every single dexterity save. And if your DM is a real bastard,
I guess.
Oh no, another wall of razor vine. Ooh, a thunk.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. Even in that scenario, I don't think you're not like, yeah, you're slightly bad at dex saves, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, especially because your aura affects you, which immediately, bing.
Yeah.
Which there's a part of me that kind of wants Paladin aura
until level 6. Yeah.
There's a part of me that kind of wants Paladin aura to not affect themselves. But
I can see that.
I don't know if it might not work the way the game currently is, but there's a part of me that kind of wants that.
I can see it if something later on, like maybe when you use Channel Divinity, then something goes off for you. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like
I would be fine with that if you got it later on. Like maybe if you hit level 10, they'll affect you.
Yeah.
Oh, at lower levels they don't affect you. You could maybe do that.
I'd be okay with that. There are I'm sure that there's ways that I would agree to having like Paladin nerfed that I'm just not aware of. But like the thing that I just like cannot really budge on is the way that I think the spells and smites work.
Well, I think the problem is with
I'm
the
still
whole,
not sure
like,
what
fictional,
you want out of the spells and smites.
Yeah, because I think the whole thing with the fiction of the Paladin is like, if right now the damage is not what we're nerfing, then it's got to be the armor. And I feel like with the fiction of Paladins, they fucking need the armor. That's their shtick.
Yeah, yes, they should have the armor.
Mr. Uther over here in his giant shoulder pauldrons. I think that's kind of the look. Even if you're like, yeah, Matingo, fucking dexterity Paladin. Like, yeah, but again, that's the rare that, you know, people are gonna look at Matingo and be like, what is this fucking Catman? They're not gonna see a Paladin.
I mean,
but you see a guy in a full plate suit, that's a Paladin, you're like, okay, yeah, sword and yeah. So I think if right now, when it comes to like 5e, 1D&D, whatever the fuck, 5.5, what they're doing, if they're not going to nerf the damage, if they're not going to nerf Divine Smite in some kind of way, then the only other option for them is the armor and the AC problem, but that's not really a problem. That's their fiction. That's what makes a Paladin. That's part of what makes a Paladin when you have your, you know, the mind's eye, the mind palace of the idea of a Paladin.
Yeah, the Paladin is... Their damage is really good. Their health is generally really good. Their armor is really good.
They have self-sustaining ability. They heal themselves.
Yeah, they're just like not
hands.
bad at anything. They need to be bad at something, and I think they should be bad at damage. Not bad at damage, but they should not be able to out damage the rogue and the fucking ranger and the fighter. You know, like I don't think they should be better.
Yeah, they should not be.
They should not out damage the fighter for sure.
Like, yeah, wizards
maybe
have spells.
on
Okay,
par.
putting the spell topic right now for the sorcerers, wizards, Paladins shouldn't be doing more damage than fighters, period. They should not be doing more damage than the guy whose specific thing is I hit real fucking good.
Well, fighter
I hit a lot.
Fighter, you could make some argument because fighter, you can build a fighter to not necessarily be the guy I hit a lot, right? Like you can build like a tankier fighter or whatever.
Yeah, you can.
Rogue, however, rogue is damage guy pretty much always.
I mean, if you build a thief rogue, unless you are sneak attacking,
you still have sneak attack. Yeah,
yeah, you still have sneak attack no matter what. Paladins always have divine smite no matter what. Even if you build a paladin to just be a tank, you're always going to have divine smite. So no, you're right.
In reference to the casters, their downside is the age-old, well, they're squishier. They go down easier. Their AC is lower. They also
have less health.
They also have an ammo count. Because here's the thing about a wizard or a sorcerer, and this is a really big deal for their balance. Wizard and sorcerer are really, really strong until they run out of ammo. And as soon as wizard and sorcerer run out of ammo, which is to say spell slots, they're fucking trash, right?
That's why they get proficiency with daggers and fucking like staffs. So like if they run out of slots, at least they can attempt to hit. Right. They might not be good at it.
In modern day 5e, they have,
to be fair,
cantrips.
They're not even, like the cantrips, because cantrips get stronger with you, they're never really that fucked. Unless you've just got a shit saving throw.
Well, you take away all their spells and they're not really they're basically a shitty fighter. Right? Like you take away, or like a shitty ranger with ranged attacks, right? Like you take away all the spells.
They're a commoner.
Yeah, well, not a commoner, but you take away all the spells of the wizard, and most of what they're cool, because all their cool stuff keys off their spells, all their class abilities. So all they're going to be doing is firebolting every round. So they're basically just like a fighter with a bow at that point, right? But a worse fighter with a bow because they can go down easier and they have less health. So that's their big balancing factor. When a paladin runs out of spells, or as some people call them, smite slots, they're not really any less effective. They're still just as, because they, first of all, they have lay on hands still and their auras still, both of which use separate pools of resource. And all they're going to be doing is a little bit less damage, but like they can still hit real good because they still have extra attack and, their longsword, and they're still in all their armor and they still have a ton of health. So even when paladins run out of ammo, they still don't really have a downside. They're still fine. Like paladins have a crazy amount of sustain just by that very fact. So you gotta take them down a peg somewhere. It's like, all right, wizard runs out of spells, they get bad. Fighter never really gets bad, but fighter is also never going to be the most exceptional necessarily. Rogue, same deal. Like rogue may not be the most exceptional, but they also stay really steady. Like there's a system there. I would argue clerics are probably also maybe too good all of the time. But that one, there's a little more wiggle room.
Yeah, it depends on the subclass.
I don't even think this is a contentious thing. Anyone who says Paladin is the best class in the game, I just flat out disagree. I just think you're wrong.
That's absolutely a contentious point. A lot of people say Paladin is the best class.
They're wrong though, because it's cleric. A cleric can do more, has better sustain, better heals, can do just as much damage.
I don't think that they cannot do just as much damage by nature of divine smite existing.
They can because spirit weapon exists.
I can see.
Spiritual weapon is not as much damage as divine smite. It's good, but it's not as much damage. It's not even close. Divine smite is a pool of d8s.
It is fine.
Minimum
even
2.
Even if you don't have that, you have Spirit Guardians, which does ridiculous damage to everything around you that you choose. No, nothing.
Right.
You just say it's going to affect all of this.
Well, it's incorrect to say no nothing because it has concentration, and it's also only when the enemy enters the aura, or if they start their turn there, so they can also move out of it and they can arrange themselves in such a fashion that you can't get to it.
Okay. They can, but they really won't. Let's be real. Let's be practical here. They're not going to move because,
it depends on the scenario. As you
yourself have said,
Depends on the scenario. Like if you're dealing with a bunch of enemies with bows, they will.
Sure, but you most likely aren't going to be dealing with that if you're what it usually comes down to is you're going to be fighting like a horde of goblins or like 3 knights or berserkers or some shit who are not going to be moving out of the way because as you yourself have said, the game does not incentivize you to move as much as I would like it to.
It doesn't, no.
So,
but in that scenario,
dealing, and
Spirit
even if they
Guardians
aren't
is a situation where the game is incentivizing you to get the fuck out, though. That is a scenario where it's incentivizing you to move.
It does, but it's not enough.
Also, a couple of paladins get Spirit Guardians as well.
Oh, jeez, that's right, they do.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. That's true.
A few of them do, not all of them.
And a couple of them also get Spiritual Weapon as well.
Correct.
Again, a few of them, but not all of them.
No, not all of them, but again, some.
Cleric just gets them. They have more spells. Their spells hit harder. I think their spells do make up for the lack of Divine Smite.
I don't know that they do, because again, they have an ammo. Again, the spells have an ammo. I mean, Divine Smite also has an ammo count. The spells have an ammo count, but also something like Spirit Guardians, concentration, and you can break that on the cleric. It depends on the cleric. Some are going to be easier to hit than others because some get heavy armor and shit. But also, clerics just like. I'll tell you this, and I know this isn't technically 5e, but it's basically 5e. Playing through Baldur's Gate, I've had Shadowheart on my team the entire game. She has not done anywhere near the damage. When her turn comes around, I expect no damage. Everyone else does way, way more than she does. Now, granted, my team's a rogue, a barbarian, and a sword bard, which are all, solid damage. Also, barbarian with great weapon master, so good damage. But like, she doesn't do anywhere near the damage, and it's good when she has Spirit Guardians up, but it also breaks quite often. So it's like
she's mostly utility.
She's a lot more utility for sure.
Yeah,
but
Spiritual Guardians is awesome. Like, is again, I think probably one of the best cleric spells.
It's definitely very strong. So I'm not gonna say it's not a strong spell. But like, even if they have like a spiritual weapon up, it's a D8 of damage, and then at higher level. So if you upcast it, it could potentially be more D8s. So there's that. I mean, spiritual weapon, I think a lot of people also agree is very good. So, and I could see the argument for nerfing spiritual weapon too. Side note.
I think that'd be the worst mistake of your life.
Yeah, maybe drop it to a D6, or maybe don't add your spellcasting ability modifier. Maybe just make it flat D8s for spiritual weapon.
Maybe, yeah.
Because it does.
I'm more okay.
Because it's also, especially because spiritual weapon isn't concentration and it's a bonus.
No,
action,
it's just a freebie,
which is kind of wild. The fact that spiritual weapon isn't concentration, so many people assume it will be, and then they see it's not, and they're like, "Wait, what?" It's like, yeah.
Like, I mean, that's sort of it right there, right? The fact that spiritual weapon isn't concentration, and you can use something like, I don't know, fucking Sunbeam, which is just a casual 8D or 6D8.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying cleric's not strong.
It's a fireball that just stays there.
I'm not saying cleric isn't strong, but I don't know. I think there's a pretty rough argument to be had between paladins, smites, lay on hands, auras, their channel divinities, like also paladins.
Also, I was gonna say clerics have channel divinities.
They do, but
clerics
they're not as good as the paladins
sustain.
ones necessarily.
Some of them aren't.
Some of that depends on the
clerics
class,
have way better sustain.
Depends on the cleric, because honestly,
because their spells just give them better sustain. Like, you just have more healing spells.
They have more healing spells to choose from, but like, it's kind of the same thing as a Divine Smite situation, right? Like, you gotta choose which one to use. So you're still, you have to decide between a Guiding Bolt or a Cure Wounds or whatever, Like, so if you're still limited.
Yeah, if you're a life cleric, you're probably going to have way more healing spells than a war cleric or a knowledge
life cleric definitely has better sustain, but life cleric's supposed to have better. That's the thing.
It is, yes, but like, what I'm saying is that a paladin has their lay on hands. That's it, and they can have quite a bit of lay on hands. No, paladins
get heal spells.
That's their main sustain, though.
But they get some healing spells.
They do get some. Yes, they do get some. But what I'm trying to say is, like, their main pool of healing is their lay on hands. A cleric can, granted, in all fairness, you have to be 13th level, but you can cast heal, which is basically the entirety of the paladin's health pool for lay on hand.
But you
can do that several times.
Yeah, but again, they should be getting those spells. Again, this is one of those, like, fighter has the self-sustain with second wind. At higher levels, like, that's great, but low levels, it's kind of like, this is a little pick me up. Lay on hands should be that. Like, I don't know, there could be an argument for, like, also paladins not having certain healing spells. Like, I'm looking at the list right now. Like, Cure Wounds is it.
They do have Cure Wounds.
That's like, they don't get Healing Word, which is what most people go to.
Well, that would be hilarious. If they got Healing Word, that'd be kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, there are people that do the they get Magic Initiate, take Healing Word, and then there you go.
Right. That's true.
Or again, multi-class into something that gets.
Yeah, I think a lot of that probably, honestly, a lot of the argument for people saying Paladin is like the strongest class. Might a lot of it be because of multi-classing?
It could be probably the charisma cast.
The charisma stacking.
Because we have Bard, Paladin, Warlock, and Sorcerer.
Yeah.
Like if they just switched out one or two of those, like making Sorcerer a Constitution like class, that would be such a crazy idea. Like no one would ever like do that. Or even the Warlock. I can see some argument of Warlock doing that. I know they bounced around with Warlock being intelligence or wisdom.
God, I wish that was some of the with Warlock.
But they got rid of it in the last playtest because it's like, it was confusing. And it's like,
I love that idea so much though.
Yeah.
I think Warlock should be able to pick between wisdom, charisma, and intelligence.
Yeah.
Just like base.
Yeah, but then people probably, I don't know. I can see people.
I'm sure. Yeah, I know. There'd be some multi-classing
like,
bullshit.
Why can't I make my wizard a charisma?
It just makes so much sense because you look at all the different warlocked packs and like great old one, intelligence.
Yeah.
Celestial warlock, charisma. You know what I mean? Like there's just there's so many like Fey warlock,
or wisdom.
charisma.
I can also see wisdom for celestial.
Maybe, yeah. But either way, point being,
cleric. Like,
yeah, point being, you could see kind of like the way they could slot into a bunch of them with all the different packs, or like wisdom for the great fathomless one. I don't. Anyway, I don't know. I think Paladin. I think the reason Paladin people say like I get what you're saying, Isaiah, and cleric being the best. I think the reason people feel like Paladin sticks out more it just feels like it has too many bases covered, and like I guess you could make the argument they're not the best at anything, but they're really close to the best at everything. I think is the problem. You know, like if it were me, like if I were designing from the start, I would have made Divine Smite way weaker, and then leaned into like the aura stuff, because that I think makes sense. But it's like, if you want Divine Smite to be super good, then I would say make the auras weaker, because the fact that the auras are just freebie, always on, always doing their thing, a lot of people have pointed out how crazy that feels. You know? It's like, because tank support is kind of what Paladins were supposed to be originally. You know? Yeah. So I feel like that's where they should lean into things, is the tank support, especially because no one else really fits that to like, there's no one else that the baseline class is like magical tank support, 100%. You could sort of do it various ways, like you could build an Eldritch Knight maybe in that fashion, or like a Valor Bard or stuff, but by default base class, I don't think anyone really does that.
No, true, it doesn't. That being said, I also am someone who's like, I am more okay with nerfing the auras a little bit and just also making them something that you can choose from. Just be like, okay, well, you have this aura or this aura or this aura and this aura.
But you like turn them on and off?
Yeah, I would like the idea of you being able to see. I kind of want every class to play like Artificer now, because I've played Artificer for so long. Artificer has probably become my favorite class.
Well,
your ability to just hot swap your abilities is so fucking cool, and it's so unique, and I really wish that more classes did it, because it makes you feel like you actually have to use your brain and not just feel like the game is fighting you.
I don't know if everyone should do it, but I think, more people. I mean, there's an interesting idea to like the Paladin has an ability called Aura, an ability called Smite. And on every long rest, you like swap out. You're like swapping out what Smite you're using for the day and what Aura you're using for the day. Like there's an idea there. I could see that.
That'd be cool.
And then you wouldn't necessarily have to nerf anything as it is currently, because you're picking and choosing. Because maybe that's the problem, is like you just get it all at the same time, and that's why it feels kind of bullshitty. Maybe that's the crux of it, you know?
Well, the other thing that I think I kind of mentioned it earlier, where I said like a lot of people, if you're wanting to like get a new person to playing a spellcaster, the Paladin is a really good idea, because it's very new player friendly.
See, I don't know if it is though,
because a little bit of
because
martial, and you get drip fees of spells.
But
and the
there's
best part is you don't even need to cast the spells if you don't want to. You just
see,
do
but
more
that's the
damage.
problem. I don't think anyone's gonna. What the people are gonna realize is, oh, Divine Smite's just better, and they're never gonna cast the spells. And then you're in the spot where Isaiah is saying, where you just never use any of your spells.
Well,
I feel like that's just gonna happen every time.
It's gonna happen every time. But what I'm saying is that, like, I think Paladin, like, one of the big things is Paladin is just an easy option. It's such a dumb, easy option
Is
for
it
people
that
to
easy?
pick.
Easier than like
very-
Barbarian
Josh,
or Fighter?
It's so dumb easy, dude. It's so
Than Barbarian or Fighter?
I disagree. No, I'm with Josh on this one, Matt, because
really.
I think
because
Barbarian's
for me,
the easiest class.
Barbarian is fucking
So brain dead.
dead to
So
play.
brain dead.
You run
I
up,
feel-
you
Barbarian-
hit rage, and then you don't
reckless
even
attack.
you reckless attack, and the game. It's maybe if the game gave you less incentive to reckless, you'd be like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't. I don't know if I should define reckless. Like,
But it doesn't.
the game as it is, there is basically no reason to not reckless attack, and you're gonna be like, oh, well, you'll get hit more. Yeah, but the whole thing with the Barbarian is they just half physical damage, which is most of the damage you're coming up against in early levels, because the game knows that if they start throwing crazy damage types at you, it's not really new player friendly, and it's definitely not it's not going to be good for low level classes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I remember playing
Fighter-
Barbarian and being just going absolute brain dead mode.
Yeah, Fighter arguably easier unless you play Battle Master, in which case there's some tech to take care of.
Yeah, fighters
But
are.
Paladin-
It does depend on which fighter.
So okay,
All right, so it's
I
not
figured
the-
out
not the
how I feel
easiest.
about it.
Oh, okay.
I would call
okay.
Paladin middle of the road in difficulty.
Yeah, I would say it's middle of the road for me. So, Josh, remember a while back we were talking about playing Dread, and you said Dread has so few rules that sometimes you feel like you're kind of locked in and you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
That's how I feel with Paladin. People will be like, oh, you should just know when to choose your things. Sure, I know when to do that. The answers are typically simple. That's kind of the issue. Is I don't want, I want there to be like, oh, well, there's this situation. Okay, well, I should turn on this or switch the aura to this effect, switch the smite to this effect, and then pop this spell. Versus, okay, well, I want to pop this aura, but there's a higher chance of me killing him if I just smite him. I'm just gonna smite him, but kind of want to use the aura because that's more cool. You know, like that's where I find myself.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's what That's what I've been saying this whole time. In that Divine Smite is just too good, where it becomes just the only obvious choice. That's like really the big crux of it. And then the Paladin auras, the not spells ones, are passive. So there's no choice to be made there. So yeah, you kind of end up being like, well, then I'm just gonna smite. I also think I can't. Okay, I know normally I would try to quantify this in some sort of, I like to try and talk in the realm of the game design and try and quantify why things work the way they do or whatever. But like, I don't have a good one for this. This is just gut feeling. Being on the GM side of a Paladin just feel bad. It just feel bad. I really don't know how else to put it.
I agree with that.
It just feel bad. I just don't like being like, all right, cool. So you hit, yep. And it's like, all right, here comes 60,000 damage. And I'm like, of course, because this is what you do all the time. Especially because I'm running for a Paladin Rogue combo. So it's even more so that, like, I just know, likey. It just feels shitty.
I know how you feel because I'm playing for a straight Paladin and a Paladin fighter. So I have to deal with upwards of 4 smites around.
Yeah. I will say, I love my buddy Wolf, but having to deal with a Hexblade Paladin,
yeah, that's another one.
Were able to add Eldritch Smite on top of the Divine Smite, he would one-shot so many things, and I'm sitting there like, well, I guess that's my encounter for the day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real, Matt. I would have just said no so much faster. I might catch some flack for this, but at some point, I would have just told the player, like, I'm sorry, you just can't play this combo anymore. I'm just done. I'm so sick of this nonsense. Just stop.
Well, that's the thing. It's a very popular combo. Like, a lot of people,
because it's good.
A lot of people, because it's fucking dumb. It's dumb good, yeah. That's why there's the meme online with a lot of builds where people are like, You do Paladin, Hexblade, Fighter, and then you could dip Sorcerer for meta magic, and there you go. And it's like, fuck. Goddamn charisma casters.
Yeah. I like. Maybe one smite around was the move. Maybe that was the answer. That doesn't totally solve what Isaiah's complaint is, but like,
no,
not even close.
It kind of does a little bit though, because you. Oh well, no, I guess because you can't. Well,
now it's again if it's going to be a spell, now it's
spell.
You can do it. Actually, hold on, because it costs a bonus action to cast, I think, and then bonus action which you take immediately after hitting a target. Wait, it's a bonus action after hitting? Why is this not a reaction then? What the fuck?
Yeah, that's weird.
Bonus action which you take immediately after hitting a target with a melee weapon or unarmed strike. That's so weird.
So
it still does 2d8 radiant. Oh, now it's actually just radiant. It's not just flat damage anymore. Now it's 2d8 radiant and then increases 1d8. Oh, no, they added the fiend and undead thing back. Oh, that's nice. Okay, that's cool. But
wait,
it's weird that it's a bonus action, but then they have a reaction like trigger. So do I have to my turn?
Wait, hold on. First of all, Matt, it's always been radiant damage. I don't know what you're on about.
Oh, I thought it was flat damage, and then they added the 1d8 radiant. Oh,
no,
okay.
You can expend one spell slot to deal radiant damage to the target in addition to the weapon's damage.
Oh, all right.
You don't know what you're on about, but
you take immediately after hitting a target. So it's like on my turn, I bonus action Divine Smite, then my action, I hit the thing.
So they did make it once a turn.
Yeah.
So it is now once a turn.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Okay. Make up your mind, Isaiah. I don't like Divine Smite, but I want it to not be once a turn? This is what I mean.
No.
I feel like you're getting too I want to have my cake and eat it too here.
I just don't think you understand quite what I'm saying. It's not that I want to, it's like, I like Smite as it is. I like standard Divine Smite as it is, right?
But it's too good, so it's taking away from the other stuff that you want.
Well, it's taking away from the fact that I don't like.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I need to collate. Well, no, because I've confused myself. Wait a second.
But what I'm saying is, by Divine Smite being really, really strong as it is causing the problem that you have with the class because of how strong it is. That's what's causing the thing you don't like.
Well, the thing I don't like is that it's. I feel like my decisions are annoyingly arbitrary because I, like.
Because Divine Smite is too strong.
Well, it's fine. Yes, part of it is because Divine Smite is too strong. But I feel like, again, it would feel... well, hold on, because it would feel less bad for me that Divine Smite is so strong if I could just modify the Smite to do some of the cooler shit. Because then I'm thinking about things more than just, well, all I'm going to do is Smite. If you add some flavor to the Smite and not just a fucking pile of salt that it actually is, I'd like it more.
Or you get rid of Divine Smite and then you just cast the other Smites.
No, because I don't like... The other Smite smells are not... like, they're not terrible, but they're not amazing.
Great. Like, some of them are cool, some of them are...
But you're saying you want them to be rolled into Divine Smite.
Yeah. I want the Smite damage to be there, but I want to be able to customize that Smite damage. Then I would like Divine Smite perfectly and be like, all right, that's fine. And if I have to lose a Smite for a round to pop an aura that I can then also maintain in the background and swap when I need to, I'm fine with that.
That's just really powerful, though. Like,
well, so again, it is powerful
because you're asking for the Smite damage. Hold on, no. You're asking for the Smite damage plus the effects of the Smite spells plus the ability to hold up an aura spell?
Yes.
That's way too much. That's way too strong.
I don't think it is. I genuinely don't think it is, because you have to, like, you're upping the barrier of entry. Fair enough. You are upping the skill ceiling needed to play Paladin. So it plays like Artificer, which admittedly has a rather high skill ceiling. But it's more gratifying when you can do all those things successfully.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I wouldn't even mind if your aura was concentration, because you would have so many less concentration spells by rolling in your Smite and auras into the abilities themselves.
So
but I would feel less
Paladins-
bad about going, okay, well, I have to turn the aura off to pop my like Spirit Guardians or something like that.
Yeah. As for the spells, Paladins only have 3 aura spells, a third and 2 fourth.
Well, there aren't that many aura spells in the game.
Yeah.
In general.
One basically gets healing for you and your for your allies this turn for a turn. They're all concentration. 1 minute, 10 minute, 10 minute. Another one gets rid of a bunch of conditions and shit, and the other one gives you and your allies resistance to necrotic damage and maximizes their HP. Non-living, living creatures regain 1 HP at the start of the turn if they're at 0 HP.
The effects of the aura are don't even. Whatever. That's neither here nor there. I get what you're saying is that in that Paladin is boring and you want it to have to make more choices to be more fun. But what I don't think you're understanding my point is that, yeah, I get you want more choices. You want to have to make more decisions. But what you're asking for is a huge buff to the class. And my whole point is that the class is too good right now.
No, I don't think so that's where I think you're wrong. It's not going to be just a straight up buff. Because
how is it not a buff if you're giving them the option to smite and aura and divine? So your divine smite damage, smite effect, and aura, which they cannot do right now. How is that not a direct buff? You are actively giving them more stuff.
Because you take away their other passive auras.
I wasn't even factoring those in.
Well, I was. That's what I was saying. You allow them to hot swap their aura effects. That's a debuff. And that's a debuff I'm willing to take because it makes me feel like I have more control over the class.
But the spell auras...
Because at level 7, every paladin every paladin normally at level 6, they get their aura protection. Then at level 7, every paladin gets their subclass aura, which have varying effects. I'm going to be honest, I'd rather have the paladin keep those than get the other 3 spell ones.
Well, also, you're talking about absorbing the spell auras into the class, which means the spells are going away, but paladins also aren't the only ones that use those spells. So you can't absolve the spells for just the paladin. It's going to affect all the other classes that use those auras.
No, you can. You just remove them from the paladin spell list. You don't remove them from the game. You just take them off their spell list and roll their effects into the
So you're just reprinting them into the paladin's ability list.
Yes.
But that's I guess.
Like there's
the 5e very explicitly never does that.
Because it's just the ability to for free go, okay, I'm going to swap to this aura type now.
Mm-hmm.
That allows for so much more thinking.
I don't know if
and yes, will it be
more?
Will it? Huh?
It's more thinking. I don't know if it's that much more, but sure. I think what's going to happen is people are just going to pick the aura they like and stick with it. But sure, I see what you're saying on paper.
They might, yeah, sure, but I feel like the game at that point is giving you more options. You are at that point going, nah, I just don't want them.
But you're still stacking the auras with all the smite damage and the effects from the smites, which is, again, still to my point, more powerful than they currently are.
Unless you have them you as a paladin have to activate them, and then it's oh no, I have to wait one turn to use a smite because I wasted my bonus action on this first turn to set up an aura, which I can.
Sure, you can.
I would be 100% willing to take that caveat.
But then once the aura is up,
then you're
back to God mode.
Indestructible demigod.
Yeah. You gotta give somewhere here.
Delay isn't really a big
I think I'm giving something major by giving away the passive auras.
Right, I get what you're saying with the passive auras, but once the aura version of the auras you're suggesting are activated, so turn 1 you're not as strong, but turn 2 you're way stronger. It's not they're not passive anymore, but as soon as that next turn rolls around, once you have the aura going, you're going. And then you can just do all your divine smite damage and do a banishing smite at the same time with the idea that with the system you're proposing.
Yes, but you're losing the extra damage from the banishing smite, which to me is worth it. Because in this game, the way it is now,
getting. Wait, you're losing. How are you losing extra damage from banishing smite? What?
because you're not getting the damage that Banishing Smite innately does.
So you're only getting the D8s from Divine Smite?
Yes, that's what I said. Yes, that's what I said originally.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't know what you want me to tell you. You're being confusing.
Matt, you understood that, right?
Yeah. No, I didn't agree, but I understood taking away the spells damage and just adding the Divine Smite. Now, were you also saying like because the spells have different levels? So would it be like I spend that level and then the Divine Smite damage increases by spell, or would it still just be the 1 or 2d8 and then whatever the spell effect is?
So I would just say you unlock them when you get the ability equivalent for those spells. That seems fair to me. That way you're not immediately banishing smiting someone at level 1.
Yeah.
And yes, there is some like noodliness that comes with like, well, why wouldn't I just banishing smite all the time? Yes, I suppose theoretically that is an issue. I don't actually have an answer to that, to be fair, other than make it so that if you try to hit someone with the same smite more than once, if they've already failed it, just make it harder for them to fail it the next time.
You can do what they're... Yeah, I mean, you could do what they're doing now, or I guess in the playtest, where you unlock specific smite effects at certain levels, like spells, and then there you go. And then you just like, you have a different way of actually using a Divine Smite. And then you can have Thunderous and Searing and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then it'd be weird because certain races that get, because like there's a bunch of tieflings that get smites as well, and other races that get smites as like
it would have quite
innate
spells. I think unfortunately, that's just one of those things where it's the same issue. It's like, well, I want a class that already has this proficiency or something. You just lose a few things chasing a dream. Like you can't make it perfect.
Mm.
But then we're just back to kind of where we currently are, and I still think Paladin's too good at that point. Like, I feel like we're kind of in the same place.
I think you're going to think that no matter what, unless it gets majorly nerfed.
I think this might be a thing where like,
I'm not even
we agree to disagree.
Well, no, I'm not asking for any kind of major nerf. I'm just saying that I think it needs to give a bit, and you're talking about reworking it, which is all fine and good, but you're talking about reworking it at roughly the same power level, which
if not better,
I don't think really help. It potentially better, which I don't think really is helping. Like
maybe, like
it's just.
But again, like I said, we have two completely different like mindsets on the way Paladin. Like, do I think Paladin is really strong?
Well, we don't.
Yes, but I don't consider Paladin to be the strongest class in the game, so it bothers me a lot less.
I'm not even necessarily conceding it as the strongest, just as very strong to the point where it causes a lot of frustration. Like whether it's the strongest or not even really that important.
I was gonna say it does, and it's funny actually thinking about this now, because this does sound like the problem. And Josh, you mentioned this too. It's the problem from the DM side versus the problem from the player side.
Yeah, I mean that's part of it for sure.
Yeah, it is definitely what basically from both you guys is what it's kind of like hearing, just listening in the middle for this.
Yeah, I mean from a DM side, it just feels incredibly frustrating to deal with. Yeah, for sure. But also, I as a player am not trying to make my DM have a bad time, and if that means certain things in the game have to be a little less annoying, so my GM doesn't have a bad time, like I'm fine with that. Like I could be altruistic enough.
But as we've seen with Wizards of the Coast, they don't care what DMs think.
I know, which is an issue a lot in 5e.
Which is really fucking annoying.
It's an issue often. Yeah, it is annoying. Correct. That's a big, that maybe the Paladin is just an example of that problem more than anything else. Maybe that's really what's bugging me.
Which is weird, because I feel like the majority of people that reply to the playtest material are DMs.
I know.
So I'm surprised when it's like, we tried nerfing the Rogue Smite and it got really poor reception. And it's like, oh, fucking, like, guys, like, also, wait. Why are you nerfing Smite? Fucking Sneak Attack. That's not the one people have the problem with, Jeremy.
Yeah. Well, because Sneak Attack has a built-in limiter, which is that you can only do it once a round, or like by default. That's already, Well, twice if there's an opportunity attack, but those come
That's
up. Those come up rarely enough that it's not a huge deal.
I think that was the nerf that
was the
a
nerf,
lot of people were like, put this back, and it's like,
yeah,
all right.
because that one's not a huge deal because it doesn't come up that often, so it's fine.
Yeah.
And if you take out the opportunity attack, Rogue can only sneak attack once a turn because they can only attack once a turn. Boom, bang, boom.
Right.
Oh,
But
actually,
like,
also sneak attack says only once a turn, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think I feel like there's got to be some kind of compromise. That, again, we'll see when the next fucking 6th edition comes out.
Really, the crux of it for me is the mechanical design. I think needs to be re-looked at because I think they should lean into the Paladin as tank support more.
Yeah,
like tone the smiting down, make the auras cooler. Like,
see, this is the other thing where I'm saying like I know you guys hate it. Get rid of Divine Smite. I'm looking at their spell list. There's so much good fucking shit in here.
They have some cool stuff. Yeah,
there's some good spells in here. And guess what? No one's gonna fucking cast them because the Divine Smite exists.
The only reason, I get what you're saying, Matt. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Like, your logic is not wrong. The only reason I don't think getting rid of Divine Smite is the move is just because flavor-wise and culture-wise, it's too baked into the game at this point. So I just don't think that kind of nuclear option is the move. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's that.
Like,
it also, you run into the problem of, despite the fact that the original design conceit was not for them to be the biggest DPS in the game, they are. And if you remove the biggest DPS ability in the game, you leave a vacuum that you can't really fill unless you make everything else do more damage, which I don't think anyone wants.
Right.
Well, they're kind of doing that with some of the other classes.
Yeah, you leave a vacuum
where
you start being like, okay, should we buff like rogue damage or ranger damage, or although they refuse to buff ranger damage in any way.
Lamau.
What
do you mean? They got the Colossal Slayer or whatever they call it.
Don't get me started. Like, I like your idea, Isaiah, for the aura swapping.
Yeah.
I think that would be even better if auras were more of the Paladin's mechanic. Like, if the Paladin's real design linchpin was about the auras, and then they had the aura swapping that you're talking about, that I think would be awesome, where they could like swap out for all these different auras for different potential situations, and maybe they have different radiuses and shit, like sort of like an Eldritch Invocation type of situation where you select something that modifies your aura and like adds to it or plays with it, that I'd be super into. But with all of that,
besides monsters and the 3 spells, there's not a lot of auras in the game.
Right.
Besides what the Paladins meant. Like, yeah.
Yes, I agree with. Sorry, Matt, I didn't mean to cut you off. But
there you go.
There are, how many spell auras?
3.
Plus the 2 that the Paladin already gives you.
Yes.
Plus aura aura courage and aura of protection. Aura of improvement.
There's also holy aura, but Paladin doesn't get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's 5 of them total, and
there's technically 4 aura spells, but Paladin doesn't get. So there's a holy aura, but then Paladin doesn't get it. Only cleric does. So
Okay.
Yeah. So, not counting that one, there's 5 auras that the Paladin can use, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
By taking away the passives, that gives GMs more a bit like it forces GMs really to think about things differently, because I feel like a lot of the issues with the way that Paladins are dealt with is they go, well, they just have these passive things. There's nothing I can do about it. There's no situation I can put them in where these things aren't going to be useful other than separate the Paladin from the party.
Which is true. Those are true statements. There is nothing you can do.
Yeah. So separate the Paladin from the party, which if you do that every encounter, the players are gonna get pissed, and that's gonna cause friction. If you allow the players to swap their auras, then the GM goes, okay, well, now I can do this thing. This will, like, more likely than not, the Paladin will pop this aura, because this is a perfect situation for this thing. When that happens, I can have this thing happen, which will cause them to think about the situation differently. If they keep that up, their players, their teammates could be hurt more. Okay, cool. Are they willing to do that? Are they willing to swap to the healing aura? Like, it allows players and GMs to play off each other, and it allows GMs to better strategize how they want an encounter to go. That's not just lol walk up smite, you know?
Yes. Yeah, which is why that's why I'm saying they could lean into the auras more. My caveat is still, though, lean into the auras more, make the auras better, and reduce the effectiveness of Divine Smite, or just Smite in general. That's where I'm at. Because I want less smiting, more spell and aura usage. That's really my thing. Because I just feel like that, in terms of a mechanical niche, I think that would be a good mechanical niche that no one else has fit. And in terms of a fictional niche, I think that's kind of sort of what Paladin's already occupying. But because of how good Divine Smite is, when rubber hits the road and you actually play, you don't do that as Paladin. So that's why I keep saying knock Smite down a peg. Because I want to lean more into what I think should be their niche. Their niche.
So this is what I would say. If you're going to knock down their top die, right? If you knock them from a D8 to a D6, I would want you to throw an extra D6 on top of that. That way you're dropping the amount of total damage they can do, but you're allowing for more middle of the road damage.
But that's not a nerf. Then that's not a nerf.
I mean, it still is.
I want
you're dropping their maximums.
No, you're not. Because if you're going from 2d8 to 3d6, right? That's what you're saying? You're going from 18 to 18. Or no, you're going from 16 to 18. Because 2d8, the best you can get is 16. 3d6, you could get an 18. So you're upping their maximum.
Early on, yes.
You're increasing the maximum. No, all the way through. If you're implying that there's an extra d6 on there, you're increasing the maximum.
Well, because 4d6 and 3d8 equal 20.
Yeah, but you go past that. You go to a max of 5d8, which would be, 35. And so if you'd be looking at 66, 36.
Well, wait, no. 5d8 is 40. And 66 is 36.
Okay, so at the very top. That's still not really a nerf, though. And not enough. I also don't think dropping it down to just dropping Smite down to a D6, I don't think is a big enough change either on its own. So, I kind of want to kneecap the shit out of Smite in trade with making the auras really, really, really good, better.
I genuinely think that you will find more frustration with the auras than the smites.
Maybe, but I think it would bother. The reason, bother me less. The reason I'm saying that is because of what I want out of them in terms of a fictional niche. I'm sort of disregarding my own, whether I'd be annoyed with it or not. Hard to say, but I think them having really, really good auras would be a cool, unique thing for just Paladin. As opposed to smiting, which at the end of the day, game design-wise, mechanical design-wise, smiting is just damage, and everybody can do that. So saying the Paladin's thing is smite is saying, oh, the Paladin's thing is damage. It's well, that's not very exciting. That's not really the Paladin's thing, because kind of anyone could do that in various ways. Whereas if you're the Paladin's thing is auras, it's oh, nobody else has that. So that's their thing. That's what I want. I want them to have I want them to fill their little niche more. And that is, that's the way I would do it based on how they currently are. Granted, if I were to rework the Paladin from the ground up, I'd probably change a whole bunch of shit. And Divine Smite would probably not probably wouldn't buff or boost your damage. It'd probably do something else if it were up to me. But I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here. That would be a different thing. I'm trying to keep within the bounds of 5e as it is still, as much as I can. Which is why I think the aura swapping idea is a potentially viable, cool idea, because that is mostly within the bounds of something 5e's already done. You're still in the zone. It's
Tried so hard not to say AutoZone.
Yes, Matt, get in the zone, AutoZone.
My brother works at AutoZone.
What?
My brother works at AutoZone.
All right. Good to
I'm not
know, I
even
guess.
kidding, his manager.
Random fun facts of the day.
Yeah. But to end on a kind of positive. Give more fucking classes all like ultimates, like Paladin.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that. Paladins have literally the best 20th ability in the entire game, and I fucking love all of them. They're so
Every
fun.
single one. They're all fucking cool.
They're so fun. Some are better than others, but like they're all fun in concept.
Yeah.
Like goddamn.
You know, I'm just gonna click on the Watcher one and just see what the fuck that does.
Yeah, like
You gain True Sight 120 feet, advantage on attack rolls against aberrations, celestials, elemental, fiends, and fae. When you hit a creature attack roll and deal damage to it, make a charisma save. On a fail, the creature is magically
just
banished
get banishing attack. Holy
for
shit!
24 hours. Jeez.
Yeah, boy. You could be
fuck
like,
you,
fuck out of here,
bitch.
devil. That's amazing.
No eating my brain today, Mind Flayer.
Fucking that's sick as shit.
Yeah, they're all fucking awesome. Oathbreaker gets like a fucking darkness edgelord aura that
No.
fucking deals damage to people.
No. God
Glory is just fucking Chad McChatterson.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Oathbreakers is called Dreadlord.
Yeah, it's fucking.
No. Yeah. The paladins.
Like
the paladins, like fucking whatever they call. They're like level 20, fucking super giga chat abilities are so.
Yeah, they're
so sick.
sacred oath feature.
It just makes me so sad that when I look at everyone else's level 20 abilities.
Yeah. Wait, Crown. You gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Your allies have advantage on death saves, and you
Nice.
have advantage on wisdom saves, as do your allies 30 feet. So that's adding on top of your aura of protection, which
Yeah.
at this level is fucking 60 feet.
I'm
Like,
telling
30,
you,
I
Crown is
think.
pretty sick.
I think it's 30, but yeah.
your aura, your range of your increases to 30. Oh yeah, you're right, 30 feet. But yeah, no, still like that's it's nuts. Like they're also good, and yeah, more 5e classes should have stuff like this.
Look, like I said, if it were up to me, everyone's level 20 abilities would be some kind of sicko mode shit.
Mm.
But, you know, I can understand why that... I mean, you know, there's other things you could potentially do. It doesn't just have to be sicko modes. I'm just partial to sicko mode. Like Druid. Why can't Druid, like, turn into a fucking dragon? You know?
I think they can. I think
they
it's
can,
true
yeah.
polymorph.
Well, they,
No,
not
I know,
more than
but,
that, they
like,
have shape change,
Or
which is
shape change.
is
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, but their final Archdruid thing. Why is that
They
not
should
just...
They should get the
Granted,
what's
I
the-
kind of
the-
like
the-
Archdruid. Archdruid is kind of fun. But
What's
still.
the waterbenders? The swamp waterbender guys? They should get some fucking giant plant monster fucking form or something.
You could do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Or turn into like a magical, like elemental super animal combo thingy, like a fucking,
Yeah, Omega wild shape.
you
Yeah.
turn into like Quetzalcoatl type shit.
Mm.
You know, like
just,
a
yeah, just
Thunderbird.
casual fucking Olrox.
Like I'm an angel now. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, come on. Level 20. All right, that's Paladin, I guess. I don't know if we really got anywhere, but we did. We talked about stuff and things.
No, we had a great debate. What do you mean?
I was gonna say.
I don't feel like we came to any kind of useful conclusion.
Well, no,
but-
we.
I guess.
Again, this
I don't
is the
know.
good
I was
thing.
hoping
We had-
we'd come to something. I
We
was
had a
hoping we'd come
debate.
to some sort of idea.
Well, no, I mean, because I took a lot of the conversation. I still believe in what I believe in, but like, you know, now I have something to think about later when it comes to Paladin. I'm like, maybe divine suspense could exist.
Let me tell
No,
you
it's
that
the children that are wrong, not me. I'm just like,
You saying remove
yeah.
Divine Smite is the same energy as remove Ranger from the game. I can't with you.
To be fair, we did actually come to a solution, which is make the auras like
better.
a hot swap.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah,
We did
makes-
seem to sort of all agree the auras should be some kind of
Yeah.
a linchpin to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess just
Yeah.
it's such a funny thing. You know what I think else is kind of funny about 5e sometimes, because everyone's gonna have their own ideas about which. their own ideas about what a class should be, right? Like that's
Yeah.
why Ranger is such a hot button back and forth, because everyone's like, oh, Ranger should be this or should be that or should do this or blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And that's all well and good. I think something that kind of bugs me about 5e is that a lot of the time I don't even know if the designers know what they want the classes to be. It really bothers me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel that at times.
Like I just look at some of their design choices and I'm like, what do you actually want this to do? Like, decide what you want the design niche of this class to be and then design for that. And I feel like a lot of the time they're trying to get all the classes to cover too many bases or something. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure what they're trying to do, but it often feels like they don't know exactly what they want the classes to be. Am I crazy? Just
No,
me?
I see what you're saying. Like, yeah, well, because you're right. Like, all evidence points to the fact that Paladin was supposed to be a more 14-esque support tank, and that's not what it is. Barbarian's standard subclass is Berserker, which is all about putting out fuck tons of damage, but it's not really supposed to be a damage dealer. So, like, shit, Cleric is, on the face of it, kind of supposed to be the support healer, but they do so much damage at level 1. Who the fuck is not going to take either Guiding Bolt or Inflict Wounds?
Well, that gets into that gets into 5e doesn't really have healers because of the way healing works, which is a kind of another thing. Which
And now
makes Cleric a
Yeah,
little
but
tricky to design
Life Cleric
for.
is sort of the Cleric. It's all about healing and helping.
Yeah.
It does more
But
healing than
the
everyone else. Yeah.
vast majority of Cleric's level 1 spells are hurties. So, like...
Yeah.
Well,
That's what the war cleric exists
Level
for.
1's also very swingy and stuff, so that's not that surprising. I mean, there's some... I think Cleric makes a bit more sense than you're maybe giving credit, but yeah. I guess it's a lot of trying to sort of genericize classes to a certain degree so that everyone can be kind of functional. Because I do understand that they didn't want the game to have a Holy Trinity. And I do think they managed to mostly succeed in the game not needing a Holy Trinity. You can viably do like 2 fighters, 2 wizards, and it can work for the most part, you know, within reason. So that by taking out that Holy Trinity, it does make it a little trickier sometimes to really decide on a niche for a class sometimes. Some of them, man, I don't know. Some of them just seem more obvious than others, I guess, is the thing. Like Ranger, I understand why they have a hard time with Ranger, but Paladin seems clear to me. Or clearer, maybe I should say clear. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. Not really anywhere in particular. It's just a thing I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So yeah, overall, Paladin, thumbs up, right, guys? Thumbs up.
I do still like Paladin. Like, yeah, I mean, I do still like Paladin. They are still a thumbs up for me.
I still don't like Paladin. I actually, so here's a weird thing. Like I said, I have 2 Paladins in my game, and whenever they blow shit up, I laugh because it's just really funny for me. It's very, my name is Phoebe, of course it is. Like, it just, like, if you get that joke, you're a fucking champion, by the way. Like, I very specifically throw shit at them knowing it's gonna blow up, so I don't have to, like, worry about them immediately killing my main boss, you know? I don't straight up warf my paladins, although that is kind of a funny concept. To be like, yes, waste your smites on these scrubs, losers. But no.
Got it.
I mean, you almost kind of have to warf them a little bit.
A little bit, yeah, but I've had a few bosses where I didn't do that, and I quickly watched as their health dolette. Although my rogues, I also have 2. I had 2 rogues, so my whole party was dishing out at level 10, like upwards of 400 damage around. So there was really no getting mad for me. I just had to take the L on the chin and be like, well, that's this game, I guess. The one boss I got really mad that they murked super quick was the like Wendigo thing. As much as I really liked that boss, they killed it way quicker than I wanted them to.
This is where
Although they did most of that.
Just lie, forehead.
This is where I'm gonna say what?
Just lie, forehead.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, you can always fudge the health a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say this
know?
is where Matt goes. Suddenly he has 200 more health.
I understand. I understand the concept of the fudge, but because most of my players watch this, I will not confirm nor deny if I have ever done that. I am pleading the fifth. Thank you very much.
Well,
yeah. All right, boys, it's time to go because I'm motherfucking tired. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
No,
that's a shame. I've had enough. Peace.
Damn.
Okay, well,
like
he
that.
didn't even wait, but all right. I guess.
No, I'm still here.
Okay, well, he's still here. He's a bitch, though. I'm ignoring him now. Follow us on Twitter.
Oh, that's a shame.
Now I'm done.
So what do you guys think in the comments? Did Divine Smite, yay or nay? Should we get rid of it? Tell us what your opinions are. Or don't. I'm not your dad.
Give
Or am
Paladin
I?
a 2. Give them a 2 like I gave them a 2. Do it
There
for
you
me.
go.
Brett, give Paladin to 1. You played a Paladin for 4 years. Do it.
Sheesh. Damn. Good man.